Hey, you are now tuned into Ladies Night Radio Show. It's your girl, Mysterious Jax, coming to you live from the Good News Studio. Also here with me are my crazy co-hosts that luckily I was on mute so you can hear the craziness that they were doing.
Yes.
Say your name, where are you from? Let's go. What's up?
Hey, y'all. It's Maddie on the mic here from Inglewood, live on a Friday night. So happy to be back. Hey.
Hey, y'all. It's me, Crazy Maria, coming to you live from the studio, Good News. And I am straight up from the hood, Inglewood and Westchester.
You are not from the hood. Calm your
Plus
ass down.
Westchester.
She is right. She grew up in Westchester.
She
I'm
from-
not going to own
We
that.
were only in
I'm not
Hawthorne.
gonna
I'm
own
not
that.
going to own that.
We were only in Hawthorne.
I did not grow up in Westchester. I grew up in
Majority.
Inglewood/Hawthorne, California.
Until
But-
you were...
Until I started sixth
How many
grade.
fights did you get into?
When?
Damn.
With her siblings or with random strangers?
Yeah.
Or with her friends?
Where did you get in more fights? In
Or with
Inglewood
her
or in
teachers?
Westchester?
Or with the admin?
Westchester.
Or with the police?
Damn.
Oppose. Get off of me.
I'm a child. I'm a child.
Oh, God. That's hilarious. Anyways, I ain't trying to put you on blast, but, shout out to Inglewood. Yes, most of us are from there. And, of course, we have Myra's on her way. Myra will be here shortly. She is running late from work. But we also have our producer on the mic today. Say what's up, producer.
Hey, happy Friday.
Hey. Maria, can you pull the mic closer to her? Just a little bit. There you go. Happy Friday. How are you guys feeling? It's Memorial Day weekend. You guys have any plans?
Oh my gosh. I think so. We have something to do tomorrow. I feel like it's just gonna be a good weekend. This whole week was like kind of crazy weather. And so I'm so thankful that the sun came out. I'm just thankful. Like, I always tell myself on breaks like this, I'm going to sleep. Like, oh, yeah, I got one more day. I'm going to get to sleep. But, like, damn well you're not.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm just hoping that maybe I'll just pass out after day drinking and then get enough sleep.
You know, and you can do a lot of day drinking tomorrow.
I could. I really could. I think, in the name of the Lord.
In the name of, do not put the name of the Lord's name in this. No. So shout out to the homie Jason. He's hosting a Memorial Day barbecue tomorrow. Shout out to him and Alex. They will be hosting it.
Thank you.
And we actually, I ended up connecting one of our past guests to come out to the barbecue since Kosi won the El Híjole Michelada mix party.
Yeah.
She has decided to link up with our friends Jason, so they're gonna be there tomorrow, and they're gonna have a full bar, a michelada bar at the homies barbecue, and he is catering about 25 people. We're bringing the beer, but he's literally bringing everything else, kind of like he did here at the studio.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a good time. I'm excited for that. And
wow.
so I posted it on Facebook in our little group chat. Everybody's excited. They're like, then they asked, are they bringing the latero man? And they're like,
I'm like, damn.
raspados. I was like, nah, I'm not doing all that.
It's
Just
not a full
micheladas.
theme party.
I know.
My mom's not free this weekend.
For reals. So what are you doing this weekend, Maria?
I woke up. I was so tired this week, but I woke up today. I don't know if it was because of 3-day weekend. I woke up with so much energy, just happy, excited. Actually, everybody dipped out on me at the house. So I think I'm connected and glued to the house this weekend.
Oh, that's right. You got to watch out for Papa
Watch
Jose.
Papa Jose, yeah. But other than that, I'm going to be at Jason's. I'm going to make an appearance. If you guys want to see me, I'm going to
We'll
be there.
see about that.
If you guys want to see, if you don't, just run.
No, I don't think she's going to make it.
Just don't look.
I don't think you're going to make it. You always say you're going to go somewhere and you don't show up.
Don't say that. Some people might
Come through, but bring a
comment in
lift
on
because
that.
we know how you
That is
get.
so true.
Seriously.
I'm speaking too much.
That's
You didn't say no.
hilarious. That's hilarious. Before I get into the cheese man, I do want to share really quick the story. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you guys kind of know what happened. Or so the Starbucks. Did you guys see the Starbucks story that I shared about me and Kosi?
I thought it was so cool.
It was crazy. So I just definitely want to share with you guys of what happened. So I don't really talk too much about my personal life, but I'm going through some challenges right now, which I'm still good. But you know, life, that's how life is. You're gonna have ups and downs, and I'm currently through a down right now, and that's okay. It happens, and I'm making the best of it. I'm trying to stay positive, and they're like, you know, but it's been motivating me more, and it's been like I've a clear head. I'm really at peace. But I was sharing this with Kosi as we were driving to Starbucks, and it's funny because we have 2 Starbucks by our house. When we were leaving, I was like, go to the other one. She's like, no, I'm gonna go. Kosi has a way. If you guys ever drive with Kosi, she has rules on how she drives. She doesn't like to bust bitches. She doesn't like to
I need to be by a light.
She needs to know exactly where she's going. So if you tell her turn here and it's like 5 minutes before she has to turn, she's gonna be super pissed at you. She's not turning. So she has rules. So when I told her that, I was like, can we go to the other one? She was like, no, we're going to this one because then I'm gonna just turn around. I'm gonna go straight down this street to the where we gotta go. I was like, okay, Kosi, you do what you gotta do. You driving, you right. Okay. So we pull up to Starbucks and we're talking. And then she pulls up and I start ordering, and then as we're going to the next window, I'm bringing out my wallet to pay, and she's like, and she had texted me that this $20 appeared on her desk, and she's like, girl, I don't know what to do. I was like, just keep it. It's like a blessing. Like, just think of it as God is like, here you go. It's like
I lost $20 at work. You bitch.
She said she lost it.
You motherfucker.
Hey, it found its way onto Kosi's desk.
Okay, so now you're blessed. You're welcome.
And so literally she found this 20 and she's like, Jackie, I feel so guilty for having this. I was like, don't feel guilty. She's like, okay, well, I'm going to use this for good. I'm going to pay it forward. And I said, that's really good. And she's like, so I'm going to buy your coffee today. I said, oh, thanks, Kosi.
What the hell? I thought you were going to give money to the homeless or something.
So she said she almost did that too, but she kept it literally after she got the change. She kept it on her dashboard so that she could just have it ready to give to people that are there. Yeah, that's what she said she was gonna do. And so then we are talking and having like deep conversation right before we get to the window to pay. And then we pull up and our total is $5.55. And we don't think anything of it. And the guy at the windows just starts kind of talking to us, and he's like, can I tell you guys something? And we're like, sure. And he just like, he was so like happy, like his energy was so good. He pops out the window.
Damn.
And he's
that
like,
sounds scary.
I know, right? No, but he you know, that energy is just good. And he popped out. He's like,
cute too.
Yeah.
So I
was like, sure, you can talk to me any day.
He looks kind of young, Kosi.
He does. He really does. I thought
like
he was in high school.
19. Let's calm down.
He's old enough to work at Starbucks. He's old enough for me.
I didn't want to say that.
Starbucks takes high school permits.
No, I did not want to say that, but I think Kosi's age gap is pretty right. Right? Yeah, own it. I agree.
Okay, what's the youngest you'll date and what's the oldest you'll date, Kosi?
I think the oldest I've gone would probably be about 45. The youngest probably had to be about 20. 21.
Wait, 45? What, you
20,
recently?
21?
So like that's like 10 years up and then 10 years down? Or
yeah, pretty much.
Wait, what was the youngest you said?
About 21, 22.
Okay, that's like more 10 plus right there.
We're not doing math right now. We're not in math class.
Anyways, going back to my story, he just kind of started telling us like, hey, I'm really into numerology and I want to tell you guys what this signifies, the 555. And like he kind of told us real quick. And then I stopped him. I was like, hey, do you mind if I record you? I really want to record you. And he's like, yeah, go for it. And he was like, oh, cool about it. And then I started recording him, which is what I posted. And he was just saying that the 555 signifies change into your life. Like be ready for big change. He didn't even say change. And I have been posting this, like, so I feel something big is coming. And so then he literally said 555 means big changes are coming. So like to me, I was like, dude, this is God talking to me. He's telling me like I'm right. And then after I told him the story, like, yeah, and then she actually is paying with the $20 that she found. And then he said number 2, I think represents, what did he say, abundance?
Yes.
Abundance. And he said, and the fact that you're sharing this with your friend, it's just like, it's going to be giving and take. Like, it was just so special. And like the fact that he felt that he had to share this information at the moment that we were having like a deep conversation and stuff, it was just literally, Kosi almost started crying. As soon as he said that, she screamed. He's like, 555 means big changes. She literally screamed. I was like, Kosi.
Oh, shit.
No, because honestly, like, I found a $20 bill and I was like Jackie said, I didn't know what the hell to do with my life because I felt so guilty about having $20. $5. And so I was like, I'm gonna buy you fucking coffee. And then and then we're talking in the car, talking about changes, talking about what we're going through. And then all of a sudden he's like, hey, like I just want to let you know, 555 means, you know, some changes are happening in your life. And I was just like,
he's like, big changes. Yeah. It was crazy. So
you're like, where?
So it was a really cool.
Where do I look?
It was a really cool story, but he literally, I think he wanted to keep talking, and obviously it's Starbucks, so the line kept piling up, and so we like exchanged numbers to follow each other on Instagram. So I do have him on Instagram.
Share it with me.
By the way, he's in a relationship, so I'm just gonna let you know.
How do you guys know this?
How do you know
because
that?
he's already texted me and his Instagram, and we're already friends. So we're Instagram friends already.
That's super dope.
Yeah. So shout out to you, Michael, if you're listening. Yeah, you really made our day and just kind of made like my week. Like I really needed that. I've been kind of down.
It's always nice to get those reminders, even if you don't believe in
numerology or anything like that,
astrology, any of those things. Like it's just a nice reminder that like, you know, things are gonna work out, and whether it be, you know, people are like giving you some words of advice or they're giving you some like fucking conspiracy theory. It's so
that made
nice.
me think, like, do you ever see people in the street and you're kind of like, you want to tell them something? Like the other day I saw a dad. Okay, so I'm currently doing Postmates right now too. I've been doing temp jobs here and there and stuff, and I do Postmates. And I was going to this restaurant and I saw this dad. I think he had 2 kids in the car, and he was by the trunk, and I thought he was looking for stuff in the trunk because I was walking towards him. And then as I walked past him and I turn around, you know what he was doing? Yeah. He was changing his baby's diaper in the trunk, and it was so cute. And I wanted to be like, get them dad duties, but I didn't want to like be too much, so I didn't say anything. But I wish I would have said it, because it probably would have brought some like warmth or like joy to him, that he's being recognized for like what he's doing, even though what he was doing was simple. It was necessary. Like it's something that parents do.
Just acknowledging
acknowledging it, because it was really nice to see that. But do you guys ever do that, like tell people something like positive?
Always.
I think I do. Yeah,
Always.
Strangers?
Especially if it's like one on, like if it's like me walking down a hall and I see a girl or see a man like wearing something where I'm like, oh, okay, like I'll let them know like, hey, like that looks really good, and it lights up their day. Yeah. But sometimes you have to vibe, because some people really are on just a mission to get where they're gonna go. Yeah. So I'm like, let me not. Yeah, like you did. Like let me just.
I didn't end up doing it, and
I
kind of
appreciate you
it
from afar.
Yeah, but then there are people that are kind of like don't respond the way that you would want them to respond, but you also shouldn't have those expectations that they should respond that way, because you don't know what they're going through.
And your intent is only to be good, so just give out your positivity and let it rock.
So I'm just so glad Michael reached out to us at that moment. It really meant a lot to us. Like I'm telling you, Kosi almost cried. It was funny.
And you'll never understand what your words will really mean to somebody that day. Mm-hmm. You know, somebody can be going through something really rough, really hard, and just those nice words that you give to somebody, believe me, it will.
I do want to play devil's advocate and say that sometimes I have had the times where like I'm at the store and I'll meet like a really nice older couple or an older lady, and like they just want to chop it up, and you're like, oh man, I appreciate your vibes, thank you for your positivity, but like I'm just trying to get my groceries and go, girl. Like I ain't trying to hear how beautiful I've been since birth. Like let me, you know,
since birth.
Yeah. You know, they're trying to give me the whole breakdown of my life, and like my mom is beautiful, like, you know, all this stuff, and I'm just like, man, just hit me with one compliment.
I feel it.
Let me just keep going.
I get it. I get it.
But
unless it's a really handsome, tall, chocolate guy.
And then you know what? Single, I don't have a family to feed at that point. I'll stay there.
Oh my God. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump into our first segment of the night. Woo! Yes. You know what that means. It's some cheese man. Some cheese man.
There's been a lot of good stuff. I wonder if it's because it's closer to summer that like shit is popping off more. You know, in the news, they're like cheese man with it.
Possibly. That's, you know what's,
you know, like for the gram, and just things are happening.
Perspective. Just FYI, I'm going to be playing her all night because I love her. Her name is Lizzo. But yeah, anyways, so I also want to say I did not work on the script at all this week. Today's show is brought to you by our producer Kosi. She handled it by herself. Shout out to
blame her.
We're just winging it today.
Seriously? That's what you're gonna get.
I feel like a lot of our episodes though are that way. Like authentically, we just like fuck it.
Well, normally we have like a topic or breakdowns and segment.
We don't know what each other's gonna say.
Oh yeah, what we're gonna say is all authentic. But what I'm saying is like, yeah, today's is like literally a ladies' night. We're gonna talk about whatever the hell we want to talk about after Game of Thrones finale, and then we're gonna talk about whatever we want to talk about.
Yes. We have to talk about the important stuff first.
The Game of Thrones. Let me jump into the cheese man first. How about that? So the cheese man for today is Dr. Oz was on, I guess, the Breakfast Club with and was discussing with Charlemagne, and he admits to spitting on tissue paper before wiping his ass. So not sure what that does, but when asked which had more germs, the asshole or lips, Dr. Oz says it's about the same. So try pressing your lips together as if you're about to kiss someone. So make those pucker your lips. Everybody pucker your lips. That's what your asshole looks like.
That's what a pretty asshole.
At least that's what Dr. Oz says.
You have some beautiful asshole.
Wow. I still don't want to like.
So how do you guys feel? Instead of why is okay? So somebody asked him, why do you spit on the tissue instead of just using like a wet wipe? And he said, I guess it's less. It's more of your body fluids, and it's less like other things are getting into your body that they put into
Maybe
the
the
wet wipes,
chemicals of the
the
wet
chemicals and stuff like that.
Fuck, though I don't. I just.
Are you gonna start spitting on your toilet
I
paper?
can't spit normally, anyways.
No.
I
know.
I don't like.
Maria, are you gonna bust a loogie on your toilet
Oh.
paper?
Why don't you just reach
I don't
to
like
the
a wet
sink
booty
and
hole.
wipe it? I mean, and wet it.
water.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because there's fluoride, and that's
I
good
don't
for your
know.
teeth.
That's what
not your
Dr.
butthole.
Oz said. I saw the interview too, and he's literally like, I spit on my toilet paper and I wipe my ass. We're like, what the hell?
And that's why he has hemorrhoids. I'm kidding.
Oh my god!
I don't know if he does. But
That's part one of the
you know?
cheese man, FYI. There's another part to it.
I wonder what his booty hole looks like.
It could be
Hairy.
just ugly and-
Harry,
Yeah, because he is a hairy man.
he is hairy. Maria, stop.
I just envisioned it.
Halfway. Halfway.
Don't do that.
The second part. I'm gonna change the subject. The second cheese man of the day is Nipsey Hussle's killer Eric Holder has been indicted for murder in front of a grand jury,
asshole.
including charges for possession of a weapon,
Yep.
premeditated murder, and attempted murder of the two victims that survived. Since he pleaded not guilty, this will definitely go to trial. Did you know that his high-profile lawyer quit on him?
Yeah, because he was getting like death threats, and his
Yeah.
family was too.
He filed a motion to withdraw from the case since he was receiving death threats, like Madi said. So now a Holder will be represented by a public defender. Sounds
He's
like
screwed.
he will definitely be convicted. You
Get
think
his
so?
ass.
The only thing with a lot of stuff like this, even if they're even if we see it, the thing is like they have to be able to prove by like with the what is it like without doubt that he was
Reasonable doubt.
Yeah, there can't be any reasonable doubt. Like there has to be an airtight case. So even if like there's one juror who's not convinced,
Right.
it could be just let go. You know, like it could just be.
Yep.
He wouldn't even get charged. So that's the biggest thing. And like there just has to be everything just has to be airtight on this case in order for him to go away. And I don't understand like how he's pleading not guilty with a video.
Yeah. Well, the video's kind of not that clear either.
Yeah.
There's eyewitnesses.
They're gonna argue that like that's not him or something.
Yeah.
But I would say it's premeditated because he left and he came back.
And
he came back
with
to
the
kill
gun.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a hard one.
It's gonna be interesting. I wonder if they're gonna allow cameras into
I hope so.
the courtroom so people can watch, you know?
I
That
hope
would
so.
be exciting for all of us like fans of
Yep.
the
Ooh, imagine
fucked up criminal
if he doesn't
justice
get
system.
convicted.
Oh,
Riot,
no.
another
that's
riot.
That's what LA has to consider is that
It's gonna be
people, you know,
Another riot.
Yeah. You know what? That's so true. I didn't even think of that, Myra.
yeah.
If it doesn't happen, absolutely.
Hey, side note on that,
I'm not,
though.
you know, I'm
Shout
not
out to
saying-
Myra. Myra just
Yeah.
swooped
Hey,
in
guys.
and
With some
sneaked
fruit.
in. Hi, Myra. Myra brought a whole fruit and a
Thank
quarter of a
you.
Jameson bottle. I feel you, girl. That's a
fruit
good
tray.
mix.
Cookies.
It's Friday.
Hey, you should pour that in a cup and put some fruit in it and drink it like
That's
that.
why I brought the fruit because I'm like,
Hey, okay. I see you.
like,
I see
I
you.
we
brought
could put
it.
these blueberries in this whiskey.
So since you're kind of here late, I'm gonna let you check in. How are you? What are you gonna do for this Memorial Day weekend?
I work, and
You work.
I don't. Oh, Saturday
but
tomorrow.
Yeah, just Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
Sunday, Monday. I don't have any plans. Sunday, I might go hiking with Sue.
Hey,
You wanna come?
Where
You
you
guys wanna come?
Where are you guys going?
Mm,
Can we do Monday instead? Because look.
I think
Look.
She got to go to church.
she don't go to no
No,
church.
I do go to church sometimes, but like,
Shoot, I know my friend.
She don't go to no damn church.
Damn, where's that 26 at, Jackie?
We didn't need it. You got
No,
it.
she told me what number that King
27?
Jesus song is.
I said, Maria, this is your favorite sound, so I'm gonna go ahead and just let you know the number if you ever want it. Just
Sorry, you don't need to go to church as long as you got keys. Amen.
Well, You got to go Lil.
No, but what I was going to say is because
We're going.
Because on Saturday I'm going to hang out, and I usually stay out late, and then I don't want to wake up. But Sunday I'm not planning to do anything, so I'll wake up early Monday and do something. Go like a hike.
Monday I may have something to do.
Well, what time were you thinking about the hike?
I was thinking early.
They go super early. Sue
Well,
likes to go
that's how
earlier.
you need to do it to beat the sun, because once that heat starts,
It might actually rain on Sunday, but I was thinking early for sure.
Okay. All right. Well, that wraps up the cheese man. Sorry, it's because I'm side talking over here to Kosi.
That wraps up my weekend.
Let me know. I love you.
We don't really care what you're doing.
I'm talking to you, but I was talking to Kosi in the background. See, people don't see me. I'm doing a lot. Like I'm preparing to get ready for the next segment as I'm trying to listen to you.
Call the time
I'm used to
killer
it,
right
Jackie.
there.
I'm
Tell me
used to
about
it.
your weekend, Myra.
And then she rings the bell on me. Anyway, the next subject.
Like, oh, how are you?
Halfway.
Shut up. You guys, okay, you know what? Close your mouth when you're talking to me.
Put that on a shirt, Buddy. Put that
you.
on a shirt. You be having some good comebacks.
And you know what? Like, I forget them, and I'm like, damn.
Write it down.
I should just have a little recorder.
Man, you're right. That's a good one.
The
Put that on a
crazy
shirt.
part is that sometimes she be in her own world, and
she
I'm
come
thinking
out.
she's not listening.
No.
Then
Yeah.
she just comes out from left field.
Yeah, you know
she's
what?
listening.
You always gotta have one ear in the conversation.
All right, because it's our show today, what do we want to do? Do you want to do the game first, or do you want to do Mighty's Minute?
Marty's minute.
We could do. Okay.
Wasn't ready.
I mean, I'm ready. I'm just saying, like, usually we want to loosen up a little, then we want to hear a little what I have to say, and then we'll get into our heated discussions.
Just trying
But
to get it out the
if
way.
you want
All
to
right,
do a
well-
little politics before we start drinking,
We'll do the
I'm
game.
with it.
You're right. We'll do the game first. Here we go.
Hey.
Kosie's ready. Oh, I don't
You don't
know.
own the rights to this song.
No, we don't. So today's game, we will be doing truth or shot. So everybody has a drink in
Yes.
front of them, and we will be asking questions. Just to let you guys know, our listeners, I put in our group chat, everybody bring a question, but you guys can go
Clearly.
ahead. You guys can go ahead and just try to figure out if they brought a question or not. Did you ladies bring a question today?
Who did not bring it?
No.
I did. I even
did
said
it.
it in the chat. That's going to be my question.
Oh, God, question.
Since
Lord,
I
have
was,
mercy.
what was I doing? What was that? Liatosis or liabetes?
Liabetes. All right, so we're gonna
That was
go.
funny.
We're
Okay,
gonna
I'm
start
gonna
off
find a
with
nasty one.
producer Kosi. Kosi, you ask your question. No, you don't want to do it.
I was about to you guys.
No, you're part of the show today, girl.
But
You
is-
are on the mic.
What's the game? Is it like truth or?
Truth or shot? So you're gonna get a question asked to you. I think we should do it in a
Oh,
circle.
so my question doesn't make sense then. That'd be my question of the day.
Yes. Oh, okay.
Okay. I got a question.
Because if you don't have questions, I do have questions for you guys. You guys can choose from. If you didn't bring one, we always come prepared. But if you have your own question, that works too. And we're gonna start off with Kosi. Kosi, do you want to go in a circle, or do you want to just ask anybody a question?
I think it'd be cool for us to just ask each other a question.
Like,
No,
everyone?
no. Oh, so it's kind of like never have I ever then.
No, I mean like I'll ask you a question.
Oh
and
yeah,
then
that's
you
what I'm
ask
saying.
somebody else a
Yeah,
question.
that's what I'm saying. So who are you gonna ask?
You.
Damn it to hell, Kosi.
It's going to be like, what's your social security number?
Right. All right. What is it?
If you could sell your soul to the devil,
Ooh.
what would you sell it for?
I wouldn't sell it.
Yeah.
That's not a question. I mean, that's not the
Okay,
answer.
so the question is, if I had to sell it,
Yeah,
what would I sell it for? Damn.
You don't say Dodger tickets.
Season
Season.
Dodger
If you
tickets.
say that, I'm gonna
Behind
hit you
home
with my
plate.
phone. We talking about the devil here,
Yeah.
so it's got to be something
You better
crazy. and
erase your
bad.
debt.
Man, no, I would say that
Mansion.
maybe. Dang. What would I sell it for?
I would sell it for another life.
No, I would. Another life?
I don't know. That's cheat. Is that cheating? It's
I-
your question. What the hell am I doing?
I would probably say I would sell it to like never have to worry about money financially and have my future, like create an empire for my family so they never have to worry about money. And they just like do what,
but will they be happy?
I don't know. How many wishes do I get? Is this a genie or the devil.
You have to give them enough money so they could get a therapist in their future. So
Well,
there
that's
you
what I'm
go.
saying. They're not gonna have to worry about money ever. Like they're gonna have an empire that it's just gonna always be successful and legal and positive, and they don't have to worry about money. If I had no other choice and I had to sell my soul, I would probably do that. Because because eventually, if you don't have to worry about money, you're gonna do things that are gonna bring happiness to you and passion, and follow your dreams and do things like that. Because many people don't follow their dreams or their passion because they got to pay their bills, and their passion doesn't pay the bills.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I get it.
I'll accept
That would be me, I guess. All right, so I guess I'm next.
Interesting.
Don't come at me like that, Myra. Don't come at me like that.
I thought that'd be appropriate to say.
Ariana said, "Wow, another life? That's deep."
Would we be in that life?
Would we be not?
Hell nah, she going to hell afterwards.
Not if you
Girl,
don't
we ain't messing
deserve
with
it.
All right, so my question, I guess, is going to be to Myra.
Oh.
Who did you take home last night? I'm just kidding.
No. What if you had to choose between a wonderful romantic relationship that would end after only a year or a so-so relationship that would last your entire life? Which one would you choose?
The first one.
Why?
Because I can manage being alone.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I heard that.
Independent woman.
Yes. Until you meet someone.
Girl, there's plenty of it out here. It is out
You'll
here.
be looking like Luther Vandross.
I'm just going to play random sound effects.
I love it. Damn.
That's yours then. That's number 27.
I like that one. You be looking like Luther Vandross. You fucking look like Luther Vandross. I'm gonna say that when I'm fucked up to the bouncer.
Oh, God.
You know,
Damn.
you look like.
Poor Luther is turning over in his
I
grave.
know.
What's
I'm
wrong
sorry.
with that?
All right, Myra, you can either ask any of the three young ladies there.
Thank you for saying young.
Thank you.
Oh, God. For
I don't know
real.
what to ask.
Then don't.
Don't. Do
Don't.
not threaten her.
I thought we were supposed to take shots.
I don't see
If you don't answer the question,
Oh, these are not like okay.
I know. I
You
just
know what,
read
I'm just
mine.
Spice it up.
Yeah, spice it up, girl.
My bad, Cheyenne.
It's okay. We appreciate you. Okay.
Dang man, this might get people in trouble.
It's okay.
So?
Who are you asking though? First, you have to pick a person. Madi,
Yeah.
Maria, or Kosi.
Mhm.
Dun, 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 dun.
Let's see, Kosi.
You knew you were gonna ask me. I don't know even. She's
I was looking at her
Cheyenne.
the whole time, like, shit. Which one should I give her? Have you ever? Sexually taken advantage of somebody.
And don't be fucking lying.
Nah. She's like, you're not about to incriminate me.
She's drinking, y'all. She's drinking.
What's my baby word?
Hey! Make it clap, make it clap, make it clap.
Oh, I guess we'll never know.
No, you got.
Damn.
Oh, she took a shot. You took a shot.
You didn't
Oh,
see her real
shit.
quick. She acted like she was thirsty.
Hey, a shot says a lot, FYI. That's all I'm gonna say. All right. Well, since now Madi and Maria just have to ask each other. Who goes first, Maria or Madi? Who wants to go first?
All right. I will go first. My question is, what is the most illegal thing you've ever done?
What's what? Say it again.
What's the most illegal thing you've ever done?
Another one.
That was perfect.
Oh man, this is no fun. We need to tell. Come on.
Oh, she's drinking.
We all want to know.
Ocean 911.
She's gonna drink and she's gonna tell us.
No,
yeah,
I'm
tell
not
us the
gonna say.
Give
story.
me it.
Wait, what was the question? I'll answer it for her.
What was the most illegal thing you've ever done?
I'm gonna answer this for you.
Go ahead. What? You don't know?
I do.
She'll kill you.
I
It
do.
was murder.
Okay, go ahead.
This might
You think
incriminate
you, know, but
you,
you have
though.
no idea.
Oh, I
Yeah.
know. I know my sister. There's just one story. I don't know if it's true or not.
We can't tell who's listening, huh?
No, we can't. We can't.
We can find them later.
I think you carjacked somebody once.
I did still.
She carjacked somebody. And
At
Damn.
gunpoint?
the person was driving the car, so you
The person was not driving. You don't know the damn story. Don't try to incriminate me. What the hell are you talking about?
sis, you
Her,
carjacked
they'll
somebody.
never find her fingerprints.
You pulled them out their collar and threw them out the window.
Oh, so it wasn't at gunpoint.
I did.
You did. I know I wasn't with you, girl. I was not. I just heard this story before.
Fuck.
Yeah, we drink
It
and we tell
was.
stories,
It was. It was.
and we share them when we're sober. But yeah, that's one of them.
All right.
All
Well,
right, you
thank
get to
you.
you get to ask Marty.
You're welcome.
Yeah, let's make it
No,
interesting.
I'm
I'm gonna
saying
share it.
thank you to Jackie
You're
for
welcome.
sharing that. Good Lord.
You're welcome.
You had forgotten.
Y'all don't
Jesus.
leave your car unattended around Maria.
Yeah. Well, she got a pick or something. She'll take your car.
What you get for giving a nice,
Wait, what did
beautiful
Ariana
woman
say?
a ride?
What did Ariana say?
That's messed up.
Don't give this.
Don't give her a ride.
That was Ariana. Oh
She'll
my
rob your
God.
ass.
Ariana, that was horrible. It was the worst time in my life. I'm telling you.
She said, "Dang, Thea is a savage."
Wow, Jackie.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so with that said, what is your best Barney movie?
What?
Ariana's on here. It messes up my
No,
question.
no. Come on, Ariana.
Um,
She's gonna learn. This is like education class for the kids.
Oh my
Just don't tell your mom you heard it here on the ladies' night.
Ooh, I got another question for all of us.
Make it interesting.
Okay.
No chasing me. Oh God. He threw in a white flag, but I still won't beef.
Okay. I'm sorry, but if you had to choose between only oral sex or only penetrative sex for the rest of your life, which one would you pick and why?
Ooh, that's
Yeah,
a good
that's
one.
tough.
The latter. And I have no reasons.
Wait, what was her answer?
At least in place of oral sex, you can use a vibrator. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm just like, yeah, exactly. Why would I want, your mouth for the rest of my life when I have my own hands and fingers and stuff? Like I need what I don't have,
Yeah.
which is,
Yeah.
the
I
other
feel it.
thing.
I feel it. Hey.
Puberty class.
Yeah, for reals. Don't say you heard it here at on ladies' night.
Good Lord.
Yeah. You did go for a scandalous question though. That's your fault.
Yeah, for reals. Myra, what was
alright.
your question for everybody?
She learned that.
One
She
last
should've
question for
already-
everybody.
Okay. Myra.
Have you guys ever been arrested?
Ooh, okay. Everybody has to answer this.
You have to say like,
no
does it
shots.
count if you weren't charged? You don't have like a record.
No, like handcuffs in the.
Handcuffed and taken
Put
to
in
the,
the cop
taken to
car.
the precinct.
Oh no, just question.
Booked. Have you ever been booked?
Yeah.
No, I've never been booked.
Oh, okay.
But-
That's it.
You were forced to go into the cop car.
Yes.
Okay, that
They can't
counts.
force you.
If you're not
Oh, I
arrested,
didn't know my rights at that time. I wasn't keeping up with my seasons of Law and Order, so I wasn't sure. And I was like, oh yeah, I'll sit in the back and you can just search my car like a pendeja. But now I know you can tell those motherfuckers no. You gotta just say it. But you know what my car did? Smell. So they had probable cause. I just didn't like it.
have I ever been arrested? And the answer is yes. I have been arrested, actually, only one time. And I was driving from Venice to Manhattan Beach. And if you guys know LA,
And you don't have to say why.
oh fuck it then.
Yeah, just yes or no.
Then yes. Thanks for stopping me, Maya.
Yeah, girl, I got
was
you.
about to say a lot right now because you know me. I just what?
You about to
Trying to
implicate
clean up the
everybody.
why
It is
behind
none
it.
of their
Girl,
business.
arrested is arrested. It's
Oh,
not
yeah, I got and it literally took about
There's no
1,
cleaning
2,
that.
4 guys. No, it was one girl, I think. No, 4.
What day?
Apparently they were training 2 of the guys, and I was being the fucking example.
She got a
Go
couple,
get her. Go get her.
Yeah, go get her.
She got a couple charges.
Yeah.
No.
Damn.
No. I was just
Get
I
you
was-
some settlement money.
You know, if you want to know the story, just DM me. I'll tell
Yeah,
you the
just DM.
story. That's it. All right, who's next? Kosi, have you
Kosi?
ever been arrested?
Yes,
or
I've been-
handcuffed.
I've been arrested once. Yes.
For what?
No, you don't have to say what.
Now I'm interested.
Oh, dear Lord.
I would rather not say.
We
for
some
what.
damn criminals.
All right.
fine.
Maria,
It's
have you
fine.
ever been arrested?
How many
The
times?
question is how many
How
times?
many
Yeah.
times?
Ooh.
What was that? What was the like most ridiculous one though? Like obviously you deserve something.
So, oh yes. Okay, so the most stupidest one was because I was hanging not in the building, and the cops came in, and they were looking for somebody, and they were trying to be sneaky with it. And the person that they were looking for was standing right outside his door, just leaning over the rail. And I was sitting sitting outside, and so I'm telling him, like, just kind of flagging him down, like, hey, look, like, watch out. Letting him know, watch out, because the cops were right downstairs looking at his apartment. And the cops saw me, and so I just left. And, like, I would say a few days later, he saw me walking down the street. And I was with Corey, yes, the cop. And I was with Corey, and so I had the blunt in my, like, I was wearing a dress, and the blunt was, like, inside. I wasn't smoking, I was just holding it for him. Yeah. And
that's why people get caught up.
The cop saw me.
It's not mine.
And well, you can't get in trouble for that. It's like a cigar. And then immediately he, like, right? And I'm like, Corey and I, we both stepped back, and he just came directly at me. Like, you can tell in his face that he was angry. Yeah. Which that day they didn't end up taking him or nothing. And he just went and took the blunt out. He's like, you won't be needing this anymore. And then immediately, like, pulled me to the side, asked me for my ID. And I didn't do nothing wrong. I was just crossing the street. Yeah. And, I'm like, what are you pulling me over for? What are you scanning me for? And then he brought up that day for, I don't know what it's called, like, when you're interfering. Yeah. And so, of course,
because sports, I had interference.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, fucking threw a flag or what?
Took me in, but that was the stupidest.
All right, Myra, what about you? Have you ever been arrested?
Yes, I have.
For what?
You don't have to say. She don't have to say.
It was on my birthday.
But I already know.
Yeah. You weren't there.
No, but I know the story.
You saved me.
You were 21? How old were you?
I would have calmed your ass down.
20.
Oh, hell no. She got to tell you got crazy?
25?
Oh,
it was her birthday.
Yeah, 25.
You got crazy?
It was 2000.
Were you fucked up?
No, she got crazy.
Yeah, I was pretty fucked up. It was my birthday. Drinks were everywhere. Every time I turned around, someone was handing me a drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you get crazy when you used to drink?
Not anymore, no. But yes, I did. I would fight all the time.
That's dope.
Damn.
Mm-hmm. Damn, we've all been arrested.
Yeah. I have not.
You're about to be.
It's kind of, it's embarrassing though.
I'm always ready.
It is.
Now I grew up and
talk about it. You gotta talk about it. It is.
Just know.
Well, now we know. That much we all have that in common.
I fight better sober.
All right. With that being said, that wraps up.
But I don't fight anymore.
That wraps up game time. That was a fun game. All right. So now we are going to jump into the next segment, which is Mari's Minute.
There is so much going on, y'all. I love these background noises. Alrighty, y'all. Welcome back to another Mari's Minute. This week in the news, it has been popping off lately, especially on the national level. In Ohio, there's a huge scandal going on. Not sure if you've heard of it, but they're at a university, at Ohio State University. Dr. Richard Strauss, who is recently deceased, was actually accused by someone recently of sexual misconduct, and he actually was then found out that from the 70s to the 90s, when he was on campus, was abusing male student athletes. And it wasn't until 1996 that these allegations were finally kind of investigated by the university. So the university knew for almost 2 decades about all of these incidences that involved a confirmed 177 male students so far, which of course many of them are much older now, but still deserve their justice. So it's a very interesting case that's developing because it speaks to the culture in athletic sports, especially at the collegiate level. Another big thing is that Trump, your president, walked out of a meeting that was scheduled with Democrats, and mainly because one of the Democrats, Pelosi, she's a badass, she kind of called him out for his hypocrisy and engaging in a cover-up of certain things throughout his presidency, and he literally just stood up and said, "I'm out, boo, not dealing with
That's
it."
What he always does.
And that, obviously shows his character again, but it does also put our country in a very weird spot where there is no bipartisanship right now. The Democrats and the Republicans are obviously not getting along. Much like Game of Thrones, everyone is very loyal to their house, almost to the level of stupidity. So we just have to be careful and watch out. The last thing, and a positive note to end this week, is that Robert F. Smith is a billionaire who spoke at the Morehouse commencement ceremony, and actually at the end of it offered to pay over $40 million in student debt for the class of 2019. So it's just a beautiful thing. Really somebody giving back to their community, somebody from the same community, somebody who continues to experience what other students at that school experience every single day. And it shows you that millionaires have a lot of power in changing people's lives, and hopefully that money is able to pay it forward and people can continue to grow and improve their communities, y'all. So that was Mari's Minute.
Hey.
Minutes.
Minutes. Get it right.
Minutes. Isn't that crazy though? The whole thing with like the college. I mean, nobody. It was just, you know, when the scandal came out with like the Olympic team with that guy Larry Nasser, and he was like the Olympic trainer or something for the gymnastics, and he like there was that huge scandal that happened, but then it's very rare that male athletes will come and say anything, and it wasn't until this man whatever decided to say something about the doctor from Ohio State that people started to quote unquote look into it. But apparently it came out that the university knew since the 90s about these allegations and really did nothing about it, and over 177 men have they conducted interviews with over 500 people, but it's a confirmed 177 right now of men whose stories like are corroborated, and it's like fuck, you know, just kind of goes to
How
show
old
you.
is this guy?
He the doctor from Ohio State passed away. He's recently deceased, so he never really got his justice.
Oh, that sucks. That sucks for the
victims.
survivors.
Yeah, the survivors. There you go. So it's interesting, but that's how. But I think I don't know how the university's going to deal with it because they have a lot of liability there too. Like you send your kids off to college, you hope the people that are there running that college are going to like, you know, at least stand up for them or their rights or whatever, their safety. You know.
Yeah, that's insane. Well, I hope they find some peace in that.
Yes.
Now that they're like their voices being heard and their voices are being like recognized, and they're going to feel like at least seen and like believed, because if anything, like that's what I think the most of like survivors want is to be believed, and somebody to like believe their story and to trust them and to like be heard. So I just hope they find some peace in that. Well, that wraps up Mari's Minute. Thank you, Mari, for that.
You are welcome. Another week.
So we're going to go ahead and jump into tonight's topic, which is dun dun dun. Kosi is so excited for this. She has been waiting.
She is dancing over here. Where
is
is the live so we can show them videos of how happy you are about
I know.
the show?
She is so pumped. So pretty much today we're going to be talking about Game of Thrones and the finale, the season, the characters. Who was your favorite? Who was your least favorite?
Oh my gosh.
Okay, if you haven't seen the finale, then we might do some spoilers. So FYI, before I say anything, the next part of the show we're going to talk about Game of Thrones. So if you watch it and you haven't seen the finale, then you might want to press pause until you watch it, because we're going to do a lot of spoilers today. So I'm going to give you a second. Go ahead.
Kathy is just as excited.
Kathy is on it.
Shout out to Kathy. She's
throwing up hand signs over here. I don't know what that is.
She is snapping. She's like, yes, she's ready. So now for those that signed off because they didn't want to hear the spoilers of Game of Thrones, I'm talking to my... So just FYI, I'll give you a background. Maria has never seen any episodes of Game of Thrones.
Be really quiet.
Or she'll ask a lot of questions. Myself, I haven't seen any episodes except for 2. I've seen the finale, and I seen the 2 episodes before that. That's it. So I saw when the war happened, and then I saw the finale of it, the end results. That's it. That's all I've seen. So I'm sure I'll have questions. But I think Kosi, Myra, and Mari have seen the whole season, like most of our listeners, hopefully, and they will be able to share. So we're going to go ahead and get started with Game of Thrones. Let's start with, first of all, how do you guys feel about the ending, the finale of the whole show?
So let's talk about the finale then, right? Oh man, there's a lot to get into. I think we should start with before Dany, right? So before Dany has her incident with Jon, I just think like that whole war shit, like it was kind of a weird ending to the show as it started progressing until the finale, because you were cheering for Daenerys, like you wanted this female to be in charge. She had fucking 3 dragons at one point. She was a good person, and then like shit went south real quick. Like she had this like hate in her eyes, like she wanted revenge ultimately, and she was willing to kill like tens of thousands of innocent people, like children. She burned children in order to get what she wanted ultimately, which was to be on the Iron Throne, or like she was going to be in charge of the Seven Kingdoms. So I just feel like the way that they kind of ended her character after 8 years, I kind of felt like that was a little disappointing. I will say.
So Dany, that's her name, Dany? She's the one with the
Dany.
blonde.
They call her Dany.
Okay, the one with the blonde hair, the dragon girl.
Yeah, her
I call her
name is
the dragon girl.
Yeah, Daenerys, but they call her Dany.
So Cozy and I were talking about this right before we went on air, and how they made her a female leader.
Yeah, her
character.
Her character development was very strong over the 7 seasons because you thought for her, like you thought for her and you wanted her to win because of how everything that she's gone through. So over the 7 seasons, like she developed, and we were like, oh my god, like we were with her, like we were cheering her on. All of a sudden, in the 8th season, she becomes this crazy woman. And then they're like, dang, like, they're turning us against her. Like, this is a woman that we were...
That you guys were falling in love with, you were appreciating.
We were supporting her. All of a sudden, like, she turned into the typical crazy woman that society makes women to be.
And that's why they're trying to, like, I kind of... When she told me that, I was like, dang, that's kind of how they make... When people ask, do you think a woman can be president? What's their response? Like, no, you guys PMS. You guys are too emotional. You this and that. And that's exactly how they made us out to be in the Game of Thrones.
Yes,
because I remember her... I thought it was like... Because I remember in the finale, I asked her, I was like, I thought she was a good person. I thought we were on her side. Why is she like not? She's like this evil person now. So I didn't understand that.
Yeah,
I mean, Myra's shaking her head. What's going on, Myra?
Because I think that we're viewing it that way because she's a woman. But if it were a man in that role doing the same thing that she did, no one would be saying anything about it. When they killed Mr. Stark, the father, back in like season whatever, I forgot what season. The first season.
Yeah.
When
Robert
Cersei and
Stark.
Robert Stark. When all of them killed
Ned Stark.
Killed Ned Stark. They were all the people of that freaking kingdom were cheering on and like, oh yeah, kill him, while Arya's over there watching, and you know what I mean. So nobody cared.
They were like unfaithful.
And exactly. Everybody was unfaithful. So now that they all got killed, I mean, I know that it sucked that there were kids, and I'm not laughing at it, but if it were a man in that role, no one would be saying anything about it. Nobody would be like, oh, they're heartless. They're we hate them now. They turned from good to bad. One thing that I didn't like about the last episode was they worked up Jon Snow so much. They gave us so much information about him. They told us that, he was
the rightful heir.
He was the rightful heir. And then for him to just like
get
put away because he killed the queen, I'm like, what was the whole point of you guys feeding us all this information about him and then don't do anything about it?
That's where I think, and we'll talk about it later because I think there's a huge discussion. That's where they're doing the spin-offs. Like there's going to be 2 spin-off shows.
Oh, there is.
One is going to be a prequel to this show. It'll be like the before. But then the other spin-off, they haven't really announced it yet. But I think the next spin-off is going to be about Jon Snow and Arya Stark because they both ventured off into unknown territory.
Yeah, she went west.
Yeah, she went west and he went like
back
further north or something like that.
Yeah, he went to go be a night watch.
Apparently he ended up where he started off in the show.
Well, he ended up back where he went.
He was sent away.
He was sent away because he was a bastard, and he ended up being part of the Night's Watch.
Yeah.
So he went.
But that's
back.
where he started off in the whole show of Game of Thrones.
He was.
That's what Cozy told me.
No,
he was sent away.
He was sent away.
He was sent there in the beginning.
He was a Stark. He was just a bastard.
Yeah. So he was living in the castle and stuff. Yeah,
I see.
And it wasn't until the parents and stuff like died or whatever.
Yeah, but the truth is, he was the actual rightful heir of the throne
whole time.
The whole time
of the whole throne of like all
7 kingdoms.
Yeah.
So
but the thing is, he never wanted it, and they kept pushing that hard. But so that's why when that episode 8 started, I was like, you're a fucking you have no backbone. Like, he wouldn't stand up to Daenerys. We all knew he didn't want to be king. Like, he just didn't want it.
So you didn't like his character, Jon Snow?
I was happy.
They were kind of like taking. Yeah, I was too, but it was so anticlimactic.
So I do want to, before you answer that, I do want to read Kathy. She says that I love Dany the whole time, but I never wanted her to stay on the Iron Throne because the whole 8th season she's been saying she's going to take what is hers with fire and blood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So do you guys agree with her on that?
She did, yeah.
She did. She fucking burned down the city and like killed all the people.
She did.
What really bothered me about that episode was that they surrendered and for her to be this positive leader, and then claim like she's trying to free everyone, and like she's trying to make the world a better place. So when she got that dragon and she burned that city down, I was like, oh hell no! Like I can't stand for that shit. Like they surrender. Like how are we supposed to support you now?
Well, you know what? I didn't feel bad because you got to think about how the show evolved and what. Yeah, I mean, Cersei wouldn't have, if they would have surrendered, she would have done the same exact thing if she had a dragon.
So she reduced herself to that level.
Yeah, like she was supposed to be a better queen than what was there before her. Like she prided herself the whole 8 seasons on being a better ruler than Cersei, on freeing them, on this, on that.
And you got to think about where she came from.
She looked fucking crazy
too.
Uh-oh.
Her father
was a fucking murderer.
All he did was kill people and was revenge, believed in revenge. So, I mean, I was a little shocked that she just kept going, but I expected it. I knew she was going to do it. I didn't think she was going to stop, especially after I saw that rage in her eyes after they killed what's her name? Missandei, yeah. So
I just feel like there was, because she had swooped in on the castle, or like this, she was in the walls with the dragon, and then they're about to start fighting with the other army, and then the other army literally starts dropping their swords, right? They're dropping their swords, the bells go off, which means they're done, they give up. So Jon kind of looks relieved, and then the camera looks over at Wormwood, one of her loyal like army guys, and he's like, well, fuck all that, like we're going to war for her. So they start like, and Jon's like, oh shit, because they start stabbing the other army who clearly just dropped their swords. They don't want to fight. It's not even that they can, it's that they just don't want to. And so they start getting, he starts noticing that they're slaughtering innocent people, and then that's when she goes off and literally starts burning like just everything, everyone, everybody,
children, everyone.
But I just felt like, man, at that point I wanted her to die. I was like, yo, that's so wrong. Like every part of that was wrong. And then when she has like the final scene where she's giving that speech to her army or whatever, and I'm just like, man, even the Dothraki, like, you guys have a sense of honor. Like, what the fuck? That was random to me. I also thought that was random that like the only people that wanted Jon Snow to pay for what he did were the Dothraki, because they're the only ones that were loyal to her, really. And so I just think, like, why didn't they just tell Wormwood to get the hell on?
It was the Unsullied.
There you go. The Unsullied. Why don't they just, like, once the Unsullied left, why didn't Jon Snow just, like, man,
that's because they live by loyalty.
Yeah. Jon Snow was, he would stick to that shit.
Yeah.
But that's the other thing is, like, man, I think there's going to be a spinoff, and it's going to be with that. It has to be.
I heard it's going to be a prequel, though. So
there's going to be 2. There's a prequel and 1 more.
I hope it's about Arya. I'm very curious about where life is going to take her.
Yeah.
I think, honestly, me being somebody who's only seen 2 episodes, her character hella stood out to me, and I feel like she is going to get her own show, because she left. I've only seen, out of the whole season, I only saw 2 episodes, and she left an impression with me. Like you said, I want to know more. I want to know where she ends up. I want to know what she finds. She'll probably end up starting her own freaking kingdom where she ends up.
It would have been even more amazing if you had known where she's come from, and you will appreciate her even more.
Yeah, if you had seen her from the first season.
The crazy thing is, she never used any of her training, her faceless training
during the war.
During the war, yeah.
Like, man,
I think it took a toll on her. I think there was like an explanation to that.
Dude, there was one scene where she killed some the Iceman.
Yeah, she killed
against the wheelchair dude.
The Night King.
The Night King, the Iceman with the wheelchair. That's Bran the Broken, bitch.
That's Bran the Broken.
He's the king of the 6 kingdoms now.
Hey, I know.
The wheelchair guy
with the wheelchair dude.
Hey, this is somebody that's only seen 2 episodes. I'm sorry, I don't know their names.
It's not good.
It's funny though. That's why people like some of the memes are hilarious.
Oh my gosh, on Dem Thrones.
Damn, Dem Thrones. Though.
I can believe. Why the hell why did he come up with Bran the Broken out of all things?
He must have, Bran's face in every episode was fucking hilarious. Every time it showed his face on the TV, he was like,
yeah,
like, the fuck y'all got me here for?
And then his own sister threw him under the bus, like, he can't be king, he can't have children.
Yeah.
I was like, that's some fucked up shit,
I'm like,
girl.
Sansa, we know you want to be
Sansa,
queen. But
yeah.
Sansa did get to be queen. She's queen of the North now.
And you know what? I'm glad she did that. I applaud her for that, because she stood up and she was like, you know what? If I'm going to be queen, I don't care if I'm queen of one kingdom, but I'm going to have my peace too. So I kind of like support her on that, but I could not see her as queen of all the 7 kingdoms.
So you guys don't feel that these last 2 seasons or this last season was rushed at all?
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah, it was.
It was super rushed.
Yeah. I feel like they were just trying to kill everybody and anybody, and then that was it.
They didn't care. I mean, they had a Starbucks cup on the table. They
Got
had
a
a bottle
That
of
was
water.
so funny, though.
I mean,
Speaking of water.
part of it was, it was rushed. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure they had to.
So we're gonna go into the next question about. I'm sorry if I say it wrong because I don't know, but I let Kosi script this today. Drogon, is that his name?
Yeah, it's a dragon. Oh my god.
No, you said Drogon. There's an O. There's DRO.
Not
Dragon. Dragon.
Drogon. How do we feel about the role he played in the last episode? The scene where Drogon lights up that Iron Throne.
I didn't like his role. I wish he would have let Jon Snow get on top, like get on him and take over, because he's also
that was his
he's
buddy
a
too.
Targaryen.
Targaryen.
Because Targaryens, I guess the idea is that just like Dany, they can't be burned by fire. So I thought like it was gonna end with some epic thing, like she was gonna sick the dragon on Jon and make him try to like burn him up, and then Jon's gonna come out of the flames and be like, "Bitch, I'm a Targaryen. Like I don't fucking burn." So I just thought it was interesting. Like it's her dragon. The dragon knows that she's dead. The dragon knows that Jon killed her. But instead of killing Jon or trying to kill Jon, the dragon decides to burn the Iron Throne. Because I feel like in a way the dragon knew like this bitch fucked up. So he was just upset that like her life was taken by the very thing she wanted. So he was like, I'm going to burn. Yeah, he's like, you know what? I'm just going to burn this because it killed her. But I also feel like the dragon kind of knew like it was time for you to go because he wasn't mad at Jon.
Yeah,
I kind of
He
looked at
wasn't
it
mad
like,
at Jon. I think like he grew to have respect for Jon because he knew how much love Dany had for him, and I think he low-key knew. I feel like he knew that he was the rightful king. Also,
I looked at it like he burned the throne so that no one else can be.
yeah,
You know,
of course.
especially
because they killed the queen, essentially.
I just wonder
Like,
like
he
where
was
did it
breaking the
go?
cycle.
Because remember it just like flew away and I'm
So,
like, where is it going?
It's so funny because I told Kosti at the moment I didn't know it was the finale, so I was like, oh, she's not dead. He's gonna go take her to like a witch doctor and like revive her or something. She's not dead. She's not dead.
She gone. She dead.
And then she was like, "This is the finale, Jackie." I was like, "Oh yeah, she's dead."
Oh yeah. Oh shit.
She's done.
It's
She's
the
done.
last episode. That's
Maria,
what I feel like.
We're gonna go ahead and jump into the chat box. I see it's going on. I see Kathy in there. Hi, Kathy.
Yes,
Shout out to
but
you.
don't yell too much because she's at work.
I knew it.
I don't
knew
know
it.
if she has us on speakerphone
Yeah.
or what. So,
Shout out to Kathy.
yes, thank you so much for listening to us while you are busy at work. She is Team Anza and Team
Sansa.
Zanza, Maria, and Starks. So she also says she loved the finale. Thank you. You just took me off of mute.
No, it's because you're not talking into the mic.
I am. I got it like down near in my mouth.
Got your mouth
That's
all
what
on
she
it.
said.
She said she didn't understand, or she didn't understand why John Doe didn't die.
Jon Snow didn't die.
John
Yeah.
Doe.
Why didn't
I feel like
John Doe.
I feel
That's
like-
what it says here.
I think he didn't die because he needed to become the leader of like the
Wildlings.
wildlings because they're gonna go off and like find a new land now, you know. Because I feel like he would make a great peaceful ruler, and he wanted to be super peaceful, but because he found out like what Dany wanted to be the queen of like the 7 kingdoms, it would mean that he'd have to give up his sense of like whole and fairness. So
well, not only that, but he knew that Dany wasn't going to stop.
yeah,
She wanted to
but
keep
that's where I
going.
was like, you didn't have a backbone. You could have stopped her a long time ago. And when she did that one scene where she's like, well, if you tell people, there'll be like chaos. So you should keep this a secret. And I was like, when you fucked up when you decided to keep it a secret. Because it wasn't about throwing Dany under the bus. It was just about him saying in front of all the people, look, I'm the rightful heir.
Yeah.
I want to make sure y'all are good. So we're just going to kill Cersei. Everybody's going to live.
Wait, is this show written first? It's an actual
it's a
like
book.
novel.
It's a
It's a book.
book.
So that's what she's saying. Kathy's saying that it goes more in depth in books and than it does in the actual show.
Well, that's usually happens when when movies or shows are made from the
True,
books.
but she says that dragons are supposed to be super smart. I don't know what exactly happened with the dragon.
Which is why I think that he knew that Jon was the rightful heir, and that's why he didn't kill him.
That's why he didn't kill him, because he could have easily killed him.
He could have easily killed
I
him.
thought he was going to kill him.
No, I didn't feel he was going to kill him. I was just like, one, he knew how much his mom loved him, and two, he had to have some kind of sense that he was the rightful heir to the throne, and he wasn't going to kill him.
So there's a theory that he doesn't kill Jon because he also knows that, one, Dany loved him, and two, he's the rightful heir to throne, as Kosi said, even though his punk ass didn't want it. That's Kosi writing right here. What's your... Oh, we talked about that. So Bran is the king. So he's the one that was a wheelchair dude. His name is Bran.
The Broken.
The Broken.
I can't hear myself.
You can't? Oh, I put
We
you...
can hear you.
No, I put you guys down. That's why, because
Oh.
I thought she took her headphones off because it was too loud. Can you hear it now?
Yeah,
it's
but
kinda
you're too
loud
loud.
No, I put yours hella loud so you know not to scream. Because if you scream, you're going to scream to yourself.
You can turn mine down a little bit.
Yeah, like it's loud.
All right. Well, there you go. Is that better?
Especially because I put the mic near my mouth.
But so Bran is the one that was on the wheelchair, and he is now the king. How do you guys feel about him being the king? Do you guys feel he deserved it? Because what I saw on the memes is like,
I think we have to understand that he is like a psychic. He knew he was going to become king. Like,
oh, he is a psychic?
yeah, he ultimately, yeah, he's like a psychic. He's called the third-eyed raven, which pretty much means that he can see the future. So he fucking knew he was going to become king, but he still had to play the role.
The Night King's goal was to
kill
convert
him.
him, to make him into a Night
What,
Walker,
why was that the goal, though? What was he going to benefit? What were they going to benefit for having them on the team?
because he can see, he can foresee what's happening or what's going to happen.
So the Night King didn't want any memory of the future to exist, and in order for him to do that, he had to kill Bran,
Which he almost did.
which he almost did. But Bran was chilling. He was chilling with his
He
fur
was
on.
chilling,
He knew.
and then Arya came like. Psh.
That's why.
That was
that's
the
why-
best episode of that season.
Oh, where she killed him? Yeah, that was actually really good. That's the first episode that I've ever seen.
I'm glad that's the one you saw because she's a shit.
She was badass.
Well, if you do watch it from the beginning,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
don't fall in love with any characters.
because they all die.
Everybody dies.
Everybody dies.
Even your favorite character dies.
Okay, so that's what I was going to ask you. If you could bring back any character from any of the seasons, who would you bring back? You too. If you could, Kosi, if you could bring back any character from any season that got killed, who would you bring back?
I would probably bring back the redhead. What you call it, sister, the one that got killed. She was one of the barbarian girls.
You mean the Wilding?
Yeah.
John's first love.
John's first love.
Yeah.
His wife in real life.
Yeah.
Wait, that's his wife for real?
Yeah, the redhead. Yeah, in real life.
That's what I was thinking too
I
because
would
he
bring
loved
her back,
her.
and she was down. She probably would have killed Daenerys.
Oh hell yeah, that's your
She was-
man.
Yeah.
I mean, but she was just really wild. I mean, she beat up Jon Snow.
So also, I was gonna say that a lot in this show, a lot of incest is going on.
What?
Girl.
Yeah, so the girl, like that Dany girl, and you guys found out it was Jon Snow's Thea.
Aunt. In her kingdom.
That's her Thea.
I love how she said yeah.
In
Right, I
her,
was like, you sound like the girl.
in her kingdom, it was normal to do that kind of stuff. In the North, it's not like that. So Jon, I think that's why he was so turned off by it in the end. Like, because they don't do that in the North. I mean, Cersei and freaking
Jamie
Lannister, Jesus,
Stop
they're
moving
gross.
your mic. I'm gonna have to.
So that's why Bran is broken.
Wait,
because-
why? Explain that. I didn't know that.
Bran is broken because he caught Cersei and Jaime Lannister having sex, and their brother and sister. And he was climbing, and he was up on a window, a very high window, and he was up there, and then he tried to hide or something, and then they threw him out. Jaime threw him out and almost killed him, but he survived.
Oh shit!
And
like
that's
in a
why
coma
he's-
the whole show
he was in the
basically
coma.
for the first season, and he woke up at the very last episode and was like, "Oh my god, he's alive!"
Yeah, and then now he's the fucking king. It's crazy.
Dang.
Yeah, but he's broken because of Jaime.
So Kosi did want me to bring up the strong women in Game of Thrones, and one of them being the Mother of Dragons. Dany has been through a lot. No one can take. I don't think you finished the sentence.
I didn't. I'm sorry.
What were you trying to say?
But I was just basically saying that we can't take away her experience, even though she went crazy in season 8. You know, we understand her. Like, we can't take away her experience. You know, she's been through a lot. She can't. She married someone and ended up not being able to have kids anymore. Like, she's been through some shit. So, like, we can't take that away from her, even though she goes nuts in the 8th season.
So I have a question. What would we have wanted to happen? Let's say she would have lived and she would have killed everybody. What would we expect to happen next? Or
If
how would we
if
would
she
have
had stayed on the throne?
if she would have stayed on the throne, killed everybody like she did? I mean, what would have what would
I
have
think
been
her
the better
idea
outcome?
was like to kill anyone that was at all ever loyal to her enemies. So she would have killed like all the Iron Island people. She would have killed just anyone who wasn't down for her rule. Like she probably would have visited everywhere and been like, "I'm your queen, I'm here," and whoever dissented, she probably would have killed.
There would have been too much between her and Sansa.
Oh, Sansa
And-
would for sure would have tried to go to war with her.
Yeah.
So Kathy said that one of her homies compared Dany to the white savior complex. Would you guys
Yep.
agree?
Yeah, she kept saying they needed her.
That never
Oh, these people
occurred to
need me. They need me. Like, I'm here to help my people. And, like, you literally killed them. You literally set them all on fire. Even the children.
So yeah, that kind of trumps that theory.
There's always a hidden.
And it is interesting that she was the palest, the whitest one. And, like, the prettiest. Almost like, they really made her the prettiest one. Even though Melisandre, her, like, best friend, was super beautiful. Like, beautiful hair, beautiful skin, melanated. Melanated?
Mm-hmm.
Girl, you
Melanine.
Did I just make a
made up
word?
a word.
I don't know.
Melanin. Melanine. Melanin.
Melanated.
Hey.
They kind of like center her as like the most beautiful one. I thought like Sansa's beautiful in her own way. Arya is very unique looking. I think as a human being in general, she's definitely. I think like her when I see her Instagram, her whole style makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen her like
Yeah,
her
I thought-
actual look and her vibe and like how like chill she is? Damn, in the background, all serious.
It's a Game of Thrones soundtrack.
I know. This is so good. I feel like it's so iconic. A lot of people, though, so I do want to get into it because some people are like a little haters and they're like, you know, I'm somebody that's never seen one episode and they're just riding this horse of like,
I saw that.
oh, and that means that like I'm an individual and
Oh
I
my
don't and I don't
God.
succumb to peer pressure and
Right. That's
I don't
so
have to do
dumb.
everything that other people do.
but-
And I'm like, well, there actually are people that love board games, that love, you know, cosplay or whatever it's called, or like dressing up or like dragons and shit. Like it's on some real like committed loyalty nerd shit. With all these types of, I just got into it because it's like hella interesting. I'm like, damn, I'm here for the cheese man. Oh shit, he's dating his cousin. Like, what the
it's
hell?
a good show.
It is a
Yeah,
good
it's just
show.
an interesting show to watch. I think like I don't know. I always get kind of irked when people are like that. Like, oh, and it'd be
Right.
those same people that be watching like the Kardashians.
It's the people that can't afford HBO, girl.
Yeah.
Right. It's the people that are watching.
like, don't hate me because you didn't get
I'm
the
not
free
gonna lie
trial.
though, it's not even my HBO. It's our friends, and we be
Look,
borrowing it from her.
I'm not trying to bash any other shows, but what are the local TV network shows like that show that everybody?
Judge Judy.
Not
No,
Power,
Empire.
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 I guarantee you they watch Empire.
Oh yeah,
I've
girl.
never seen that.
It's a free. It's
Neither
on,
have
it's on
I.
channel 7
I've
or
never,
11 or
ever
one of
seen
those.
it.
I know. I'm telling you, it's because they can't afford HBO. That's why they're saying that. That's
Damn.
it. That's the only
you
reason.
could get it for the low.
That's
low.
untrue because I could watch HBO. I haven't gotten into it because I haven't gave it the time of my day to watch it.
No, and
not
I-
in a bad way.
No, but
You
we're
can-
not
However-
talking. We're not talking about you because you never bashed it.
Yeah.
she's talking about
Oh,
people who
people
are
are
bashing the
bashed it.
show. For people who don't watch it, like I don't watch it because I'm an individual and I don't follow peer pressure. That's what she's talking about.
Being individual takes several seats. How about that?
Yeah, because there's people that have been watching this show from the beginning. They didn't just start binge watching it, last week.
Yeah. We've been waiting for like 2 years for this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Took a long
So
time.
there is a lot of Sansa fans out there. She's
Sansa's
literally
dope.
she's literally been through hell and back. The Queen of Shade ended up getting what she wanted. She wanted to be queen. The fact that she got the North to be its own independent kingdom. So okay, Sansa, we see you. She's definitely loyal, but could she have been queen of the entire 7 kingdoms? What do you guys
think
think?
so.
I don't think so. I think that her heart and her knowledge was always with the North only, and she couldn't understand. She just always put the North first, and she couldn't understand other people's way of living.
Well, I think she changed a lot, especially we saw that in the episode where she told when she broke her promise and told what's his name, the secret about Jon.
Tyrion.
Yeah. And I think she got played a lot. She was very naive when she was younger.
she got taken advantage of.
Especially by
And then she became
Littlefinger.
the player.
Especially by Littlefinger. He was such a manipulator and
when
always
she killed
was in
him,
her
I
head.
was so excited.
Yeah, and so I think she learned a lot from him. So she did. Now she kind of knows how to be manipulative and get
Well,
around.
now she's not
so-
like weak because like she wasn't the strongest. She always said she wasn't the fastest. Like she wasn't quote unquote the smartest. So she had to learn how to be like manipulative, like get her way anyways. But there was a whole season where you were just like heartbroken for her because she had like been, I don't know, traded for marriage. She was married to somebody who like abused the shit out of her, basically.
Yeah.
Then she ended up like having that fool murdered by dogs. Remember, he was like sitting in his jail cell,
Yeah.
and she like watched him get eaten by dogs.
That's crazy.
And I'm just like, yes, girl, you go.
Yeah.
So she was like heartless at that point. Like she didn't give a shit about anything. That
I
happened.
think John, if John wasn't such a pussy in the end, he
Yeah.
would have been able to rule the Seven Kingdoms.
I don't
Because
think so.
people loved him.
They did love him, but he never wanted
He
it.
never wanted it.
He
And
never
didn't
wanted
know.
it. He never wanted it because he always wanted happiness. If you have to put yourself in a
Yeah.
mindset of like, damn, my family disowned me, said I'm a bastard, and sent me
And he's
away.
always been a
All you're
bastard.
gonna want is happiness. You're not gonna be fighting for the Seven Kingdoms.
Yeah.
You want to be happy.
He was kind of always just put in
that's
that
what
position.
it came. That's what it came down
So
for
who
him.
could have been the king?
Bran always knew. Remember at one point, like he said, somebody said something like, "What do you, Bran? Do you want to be king?" And he was like, "Why do you think I'm here?" Or something like
that's
that.
what he said. Yeah.
And I'm just like, "Fucking Bran."
Yeah,
Because
fucking Brian.
he been knowing, like he's
saw
been
it.
knowing the future, so that's why he was just always quiet. Like he wasn't. That's why he wasn't worried when he was out there with all the people because he
Yeah.
knew what was gonna happen. He knew he was gonna be all right.
But even though he knew and that's how the way it was going, do you guys agree that he should have been the king?
I think he
If it
would be
wasn't
fair.
him and it wasn't Jon Snow, who else would you guys have seen be the king?
Oh, if it wasn't or Jon Snow, I honestly thought maybe it would be Arya, but then I guess I realized that Arya didn't want it because she even said it. She's like, "No, I'm gonna leave." I don't really know who
I
else.
got to the point where I'm like, yeah,
Maybe
fuck it,
Tyrion.
man.
He would have been a good king, Lannister.
I think it's the only thing that makes sense because obviously he's very good at playing chess and making sure that everybody is where they need to be.
Yeah.
And so ruling a kingdom or kingdoms, he will be good at that. He will know, okay, this person needs to be here, this person needs to be there. I'm gonna sit back and chill and let them do all the work. So it kind of makes sense to keep that peace.
Yeah, that's a good point. I just wonder. I just wish they could keep going because there's just so much that could still happen. You know?
Yeah.
So I just feel like it was a weird. A lot of things were very anticlimactic. Like the main girl that was like the villain, Cersei, like the one that like basically
felt
had
sorry
3
for
kids
her
with
in
her
the end.
brother. She like kills everyone, whatever. She died.
4 kids.
4 kids. She just died because all the bricks fell on her, and then that's it.
That sucks. I saw
Did you
the
see that
bricks.
meme? That's
But
Yeah.
she deserved so much more. And she
Exactly.
deserved to be torn the fuck apart.
Like
What
I
are some
felt
of
bad for Jamie because Jamie loved her and he wanted to like be with her, but I feel like she didn't deserve that. She deserved more.
a better death.
Yeah.
For sure.
And so did Danny. I felt like that was kind of weak. Of like
The best death was when the 2 brothers started killing each other.
Oh yeah, that was.
I was going to ask
crazy,
you,
the Hound.
what character would you bring back that died that you wish
Oh,
that they would have kept?
that they would have kept. I honestly feel like this would be such a devil's advocate though. But Danny's first or only husband,
I loved
what
him.
was his name? He was a Dothraki.
His name is Drak. Conky something.
I don't remember. He's Lisa Bonet's husband.
It's
Yeah.
Jason, it's Jason Momoa. It's Jason
Yeah.
Oh,
Jason Momoa
yes.
Jason
girl.
Momoa.
Just because he's hot, they need to bring him back.
Yeah, but it was just like
He was
she
a good dude.
He was a good one for her, and like she was honestly heartbroken about it. Like it was just wild. So I just feel like I just wonder how different the seasons would have been if he had been alive.
Kathy says, how savage is that no one got their revenge?
Yeah, I feel like a lot. Yeah, nobody really got their revenge. Arya didn't get to kill Cersei.
Because she says Cersei died of her own accord. She died the way she lived the fucking castle.
I guess the brothers, the Hound and what's his name?
Oh,
I guess they
yeah.
got to kill each other.
There you go. Or like the Hound technically killed him because he ran into him, but they kind of explained it after the episode, and they're like, he was afraid of fire all his life because his brother kind of like lit up his face. So they're like, we could only let him die by fire because that was his biggest fear. And his brother couldn't be killed. If you notice in their fight, like he wouldn't fucking die. They're like, so even the Hound knew he had to do that in order for him to die.
Kathy also says, Kathy, we appreciate you. Keep the comments coming. She says, these women had complex emotions besides, I like this man and I'm going to do what I can to get his attention.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, Kathy.
She says, I just loved what the series did with the female characters. They're always so bland and one note. These characters were so complex.
Yeah, it's true. Like the female characters, it wasn't like a romantic, it's all about, the romance. It really wasn't. Like there were some mini romantic moments, but it was never like a love triangle or baby mama drama or nothing like that at all. Everyone wanted power. whether it was like power in your household, power in your kingdom, whatever. Like,
so it wasn't really about love. It was like, fuck love. It's like, I want power.
yeah, and it's like, if you're down with my power, then I love you, but if you're not, then I'll kill you.
And that's
Literally.
what happened.
Yes.
Would you guys watch it again from season 1?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
It's that good.
Yeah.
It's not good. It's just that entertaining. So even if you're like, oh, it's not that good, it's kind
And
of
it's
boring.
been so long.
It's just entertaining. Like, you could just sit there and watch it. There's just so many fucking characters. There's so
don't
many.
have any kids around because the first few seasons
Oh,
is nothing but sex
nudity.
scenes.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. I got to watch
The
this
last
shit.
season didn't really have much.
No, not much.
Yeah,
No.
even the season before that didn't have many sex
No.
scenes.
There was a lot at the very beginning. A lot of brothels.
That's all.
So that's what they railed you girls in with.
I know,
yeah.
right? The sex and the killing.
Oh, you got to watch the
It
season.
sells.
You got to
And
watch
the
the
hot
season
guys.
with Jason Momoa. You
I
have
gotta
to watch that
What
season.
season is
Oh,
that? I'm
yeah.
taking
I think
notes.
it's like 2 or 3.
Yeah, 2 or 3.
Oh, yeah.
It's
He's been out there
early.
for a while.
He's hot.
But can we just talk about the fact that Arya freaking saved the kingdom the night before she lost her virginity? Like,
Yes.
obviously, Dick is very powerful. I just want to get out.
Yeah, she's like, I've never done this before. Now I'm going to go kill the king. Yeah.
She saved a whole fucking kingdom right before she lost her virginity. I'm just putting that out there.
I thought she
That's
did it.
dope.
No, I thought she lost her virginity and then killed him.
That's some real woman
right
shit
before.
right there. I don't know. It doesn't
it
sound like
seemed
she
like-
used to be scared of the dick if
it
she was
seemed-
saving fucking villages
It
and
seemed
people.
like she took his virginity. She was like, "Give me this.
Yeah.
I'm out of here. I'm about to go kill."
But
the
I
king."
feel so bad for him because he really seemed to like her. And he was like, you know, I would love for you to be my lady. And she was like, I'm no lady.
Yeah.
She ain't no lady.
So my question is, after you guys watch the actual show, do you guys go back and watch the season? Because that's what Kathy does.
I will go back and watch it.
Yeah. Sometimes you miss things. You know, sometimes when you go back and you watch certain shows. Speaking of certain shows, I don't know if we can diverge yet.
Yeah. Okay. So I was gonna wrap that up because I was gonna say,
Yeah.
since it's over, since Game of Thrones is finally over,
What are you guys gonna watch?
What are you gonna watch now?
Ratchetness.
Ratchetness.
I mean, I haven't.
Wait,
I
watched
just
Game
binge
of
watched that
Thrones.
show you
Okay.
told us about.
Vida?
Literally.
And that's
binge
what we're
watched
talking
it.
about.
Like the first, like both seasons I've been watched.
I just started watching the first few episodes last
It's
night.
something else though. Like the first few episodes, I won't lie, threw me off a little because I wasn't expecting it.
So I'm so glad you bring that up, Mari. Yes, we're gonna go ahead and go into what do you watch now after Game of Thrones is over? Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen, I have a show for you. It's called Vida. It's a show about two sisters that are fighting to save their deceased mother's bar in the height of gentrification. And this takes place in East LA. That's right. So they find out that her mom is married to somebody new. Not only that, the new person is a woman. They didn't know their mom went both ways, and a whole lot of secrets follow. It's also helping Kosi practice her Spanish. She finally knows what the word pinche means, and she knows how to say Mari's name correctly.
Yeah.
Do you want to say it?
Molly.
Yes. Yes, girl.
The new season came out yesterday. I'm so excited to watch it, and I hope that you guys start watching it so that maybe we can talk about it here on the show. But love that the show has a lot of chingonas on it. That's right, Kosi. I like how you use the word chingonas on here. That's right. It's all about female empowerment, even though the characters slowly realize that they need to support one another.
Yes.
In the end, they do come together. So if you guys haven't watched
Don't
it,
tell us.
I'm not going to say too much because I know Kosi put some of the stuff in here. I don't want to say it because I don't want to spoil it to them. But it's a great show. It's about Latinas in a and I will say this though, because you do bring up a good point in your script. So it takes place here in LA. And obviously all of us grew up on the west side of LA. So we're the well,
I didn't grow up technically in
you
East
didn't grow up in
LA.
East LA.
No.
You're
Yeah.
more of a
No.
West LA
It's-
girl.
Yeah.
But there is Latinas that grew up in the East LA, and those, and you can see the differences too. And like, I mean, I have a lot of friends who grew up in East LA, and I love them. But it's just our experiences are different from the
Yeah,
girls on the
we're
West side of LA.
Whole different vibes.
So even though I do connect with the show, I mean, there are some things that is not exactly of all Latinas in LA. I just want to say that.
I think they do a good job though of bringing in so many different types of Latina and Latinx identities and using correct terminology on the
Yes.
show. they do show you all kinds of Latinas. They show you the ones that are darker and more curvy, the ones that are a little thinner with like maybe not the curvy body and light skin. They have the ones that don't speak Spanish. They have Latinas on there that, you know, are queer, that I don't identify as anything, that identify with another
non-binary,
gender, non-binary.
Right? Yeah.
So I feel like they do a good job of just like bombarding you with all these different types of like Latina women. And at first you may even be like, oh, this is a little extra, or like, oh, they're doing too much. But I think it's like there's no other show now that's doing this kind of images, or they're doing this type of representation.
Right.
So that's why it's
that's why I love it.
Yeah.
As a Latina woman, as a Latinx woman, I love it. The fact that that there's a show like this and it's on Stars. It's I think it's on Stars, right?
It's on Stars,
yeah. So I really appreciated the show when it was a friend that told me about it, and I was like, let me take a look. Oh my God, I got hooked. Kind of like I remember when I was, so Madi came over to my house yesterday to meet with Kosi, and I had to go to an event, and I said, okay, you guys are going to go over the script, but take a look at this show because we're going to talk about it.
Almost like 10 episodes.
Kosi said you did not stop. You were on binge watching.
Yeah.
You would
I'm
not
like,
stop.
Okay, I'm going to do one more and I'm leaving. 5 episodes later.
Like, no, I went on there. It was like 11 episodes. You guys were into episode 11.
I'm like 2 episodes away from the finale.
And then season 2.
So I'm like, oh man.
So it's a great show if you guys want to look for a new show.
And it's only 33 minutes.
It's so good, but it's so, and there is a lot of sex scenes. Not a lot, but there's sex scenes in it. But Kosi brought up a good, what would you say? Yeah, there's enough. There's straight sex, there's gay sex, there's whatever sex you want.
There's an orgy in one
There's
of
an
the
orgy in there. Yes, girl. So other underlying themes are conforming towards society's desires. The daughters do get out of the hood. The only thing that brought them back was the death of their mother, and they had to deal with being seen as being whitewashed or whatnot, all because they got an education. Well, at least one of them did. Do you feel like we do this to our own people sometimes?
Yeah, I think right now, especially because there is such a huge shift in gentrification. Like, there is everybody that's from these neighborhoods hates gentrification. So what we associate with gentrification is just things that are not authentic, things that are different, things that are not what we're used to. So when, you know, newer generations are growing up and they're not sticking to the traditional, that also is, to some people, aligning with gentrification because it's not the same as it used to be. So I feel like that's where in the show you kind of get to see, like, oh, that's why they're upset. But that doesn't make sense that they're calling them this. Like, you get to see, like, a lot of the arguments that do exist in our communities, which is like, oh, you're whitewashed, or you speak white, or you look white, or you do this white. But it's like, excuse me,
what
like,
is white? Why is white?
And she even says, like, don't culture shame me.
Yeah.
Like, we are from the same culture. I do look different. I do talk different. What is your point?
And why are you making being white, or why are you making it something valuable? Like, it's like you're comparing yourself, like you're demeaning yourself because you're making. Yeah.
Why does me being educated have to be white?
And why are you relating it to being whitewashed or anything that has to do white? You're educated, and that happened to me when I was growing up because I was one of the only people in my community that went to college right from high school. And I went to the Valley, high school in the Valley, and every time that I came back and I started talking, and everybody that I grew up with, that I went to elementary and middle school with, they're like, "Oh, she's so whitewashed. She's whitewashed." I'm like, what is whitewashed? Yeah, right. And I tell my kids that now because most of them speak proper. I mean, a lot of the kids speak proper English, and I'm like, there's no speaking proper English does not mean you're whitewashed.
Exactly. Thank you.
Don't give it. Don't give white. Nothing against white people. Don't make it like it's valuable for you to speak proper English and relate it to being white.
Right.
Because anyone who is educated or who knows better will speak proper English.
Right. Exactly.
I feel like some people just really associate their own identity based on where they come from, when it doesn't necessarily have to be that way. Like, you should remember where you come from, and you should always want to help your community. But the fact that people who still live in that bubble, they live in that city, they can't see anything more than that. Like, they can't see anything larger than their environment. Yep. So people that do, they still recognize, like, hey, this is my community, but I'm going to go get an education. It's hard for them to understand that because they never did that themselves.
And it's just, it's ignorance. It's lack of being educated, lack of knowing better.
Yeah.
Or even if you do know better, you don't want to confirm. You don't want to be part of it. You're like, oh, I'm gonna stick to being what I know, doing what I know, you know.
Right. I mean, and Selena said it best. Like, if to Mexico we're not Mexican enough, and to Americans we're not American enough, and it's like we already have to struggle with that. So like, why, as our own community, we have to put that pressure on each other?
Yeah, I think that there's a big difference to be understood of somebody from your culture that is educated, that is trying to do better, that is just elevating themselves in their own lives and still having cultural pride, and then somebody from your culture that is actively looking down on and acting hypocritical, because there unfortunately are people that way that are from our culture and will talk shit about our culture. And I'm like, aren't you Mexican? What do you mean like you're against immigration? What do you mean you hate all illegals? Like your mama. Like literally,
bye.
Yo,
like,
mama.
Exactly.
There are, but there really are. There's people at when I was at university. There's people like you talk to them and you're like, wait, you are that though,
right?
Like, why
And
do
the
you
crazy
self hate
Yes.
so much?
You appear that way. Your appearance, you look that way.
You
So
literally
to this
look.
Caucasian person or to this other person next to you, you still look like an illegal. So why are
Yeah.
you so proud to be against your own kind?
Yeah,
Exactly.
And she, there's an episode, like no real big spoilers, but there's an episode. There's the altercation that happens. One of the Latinas is a little more aggressive, all about anti-gentrification, and she's a little darker, a little more prieta, shorter, longer black hair, and she's arguing with this light-skinned Latina who has like a bob haircut, and she's like giving her like, you know, names like, you know, you want to be a gabacha, you want to be a gringa, you want to be a white girl so bad, and they both end up in jail basically. And then the more educated one is like,
Ruined it for me. Not kidding.
No,
the educated one is like, you're just a little hood rat. And then the girl's like, it doesn't matter what you think I am. Like, to that white lady that called the cops on us, she sees the same
We're
thing.
the same.
Whether or not you look preppy and light skinned and
yeah.
this, like, you are still not white. You are
Exactly.
still not Caucasian, not European looking. So, and I feel like that's a big deal to be had, because I think that happens too. And I think the whole thing with like, because I don't really identify as somebody that grew up in a culture like East LA where they like considered themselves Chicanas. I didn't grow up with that term.
Me
Chicana.
neither. Me
I
neither.
grew up thinking I was Mexicana. Like
Yeah.
when people ask me what I am, my mom was Mexican, my dad was Mexican. I'm Mexican. Fuck it.
Yeah.
And I tell people I was from Mexico.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I'm
You
from
did?
Mexico.
Yeah. Corey would be like, "You're not from Mexico."
Right. When
I used to be that.
people
that
ask
I
me-
wasn't that like that,
Yeah.
but
No.
people ask
like-
me that all the time. They're like, "What are you?" I'm like,
I'm Mexican.
Mexican.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
it wasn't until like
You know,
college and I
that's
learned
what
the
I say,
difference.
and they're like, "Are you really?" Like, yeah. I'm
well, I say Mexican. I don't really say Mexican American.
No,
I
I
don't
say I'm
either.
Mexican. When people are like, "What are
I'm
you?"
Mexican
I'm
born
like,
here. I'll
Mexican.
say
And
that.
you know, and a lot of people,
people are stupid.
a lot of people change it. Like, hey, where are your parents from?
Yeah.
Then they'll say, oh, my parents are from
Or you could just,
Yes,
people
they
don't
do.
know the question. It's like, what is your ethnicity? That's
Yeah.
the easiest fucking question. What is your ethnicity? Because people will be like, where are you from? And you're like, my home.
I'm from
where
the hood.
Yeah, my home, my mom, my country. Like, I don't know what you mean, but I think that this show like also brings to like the differences, even in our city, in our small city, our large city, like the different little pockets of Latino communities that exist, and like
Yes.
how we're not divided in a negative way, but like the things that are happening in East LA, it doesn't really affect us over here on the West Side.
It
Like,
doesn't.
when we hear about things that are popping off in Inglewood and our surrounding neighborhoods, we're, you know, we got our finger to the pulse type thing.
Yeah.
But when we're hearing about gentrification, we're like, oh, that sucks.
But now it's happening here in
It's
Inglewood.
absolutely
Oh, hell
happening.
yeah.
No, now it's
No.
happening.
With the forum and all that.
But it was happening way more like before
Because
It's
of, yeah,
historical.
because of the Dodger Stadium,
Yeah,
because of
Silver Lake, Echo Park,
all
all,
of that.
that's being taken over.
So we didn't
Silver
feel
Lake
here.
is
So
gone.
what Marty-
Silver Lake is gone.
So what Marty
Yeah,
said is
done.
we didn't feel that. We couldn't connect to it. Now that we see it here in our fucking West Side in the Inglewood, we're like, oh shit, this is happening. Like Market Street used to be a street where you can go to the, like all these like mom and pop shops, the Asian stores with
Yeah.
the, you know, fucking the indoor swap meet, and now it's literally not like it's all owned up like they're like coffee shops, they're vegan spots,
I
they're
know. That's crazy, huh?
that same
Little
street.
co-op places.
Yeah,
No,
it's like
eat good stuff.
And sometimes I'm like, damn, we
sometimes
do
it's-
need that, but like not
Yeah.
by you. not
No,
by you owning
I
it.
kinda-
but who else
Yes.
is gonna own it? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like
that's Marty. That's exactly how I feel. I'm like, dang, that's not
Yeah.
a bad thing to have these vegan spots, these
And it can't
healthy
be
spots.
just these
But
ethnicities.
why
coming
does
up
it
with
have
these
to be
ideas.
just white people? I'm not
That's-
saying there's a bad thing, but I'm just saying like I grew up
Yeah.
in Inglewood, like Cynthia. I mean, like Maria said, like this is our area, this is our city, so you kind of feel protective of it. You
And
kind
we-
of feel like
And we have these gems. We have Simply Wholesomes. We have
Yes.
House. We have all these places in the neighborhoods that we need to value and cherish
Yes.
and add
and
Take our
promote
business too.
and take
and
it.
add business.
So
to it.
instead of going to like those like Whole Foods stores that we drive all the way to El Segundo for, or like Santa
There's
Monica,
Mother's Market.
there's
all these
Simply
places.
Wholesome here in our area. Like we should need to start supporting
It's been here forever.
And
I was going there when I was a teenager.
I did an interview. Well, I didn't, but like we interviewed the daughter of the owner of Simply Wholesome, and we actually did an event there not too long ago. Myra, you were there. So his daughters are very involved in the business, and they're trying to keep the business alive, which is great. But like we need those are the type of things that we need to do. Is we need to support one another within the community to help grow the community.
Yes.
So like obviously like Kosi and Maria do a lot of like support. You guys go to Fiesta
We
Fiesta's
go to
a lot.
Fiesta and we go to La Louisiana. We support either one.
You sure do, girl. You supporting within the community, which is good. You know what I'm saying? You don't.
And then Maria and I just went to Simply Wholesome.
You did win. You guys didn't tell me.
You were gone.
When?
Yesterday?
You were gone.
I was gone, quote unquote. When was I gone?
You just arrived late to the house.
Apparently, I didn't get the message. Damn, y'all.
It was last Saturday. I swear to God, you weren't home.
That's all right. It sounds like
She
me. I've
wasn't
never-
home, you guys. She was not home.
So if you guys are looking for a new show, please support the show. It is a great show. It's called Vida, V-I-D-A. And
Maybe we
there's
should tell them what Vida means.
well, no, she's talking about the definition. It's life. It's life. But it's a great show if you guys are looking for something new to watch for you Game of Thrones. It talks, so it's a very interesting show. Kosi put on here there are a lot of lesbian relationships themes present on the show, which is great as it shows diversity and that the LGBTQ community includes Latinas. Girl, can you stop moving the mic? You like muting me. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and wrap that up. I hope you guys enjoyed our opinions in segment of Game of Thrones. We're going to go ahead and jump into the next segment, which is oh, wait, hold up.
Question of the night.
I know. I was looking for the sound effect. It's Question of the Night, brought to you by our Myra. Hey.
Girl, I got a question for you.
Can I get an answer?
Do we have the answer?
You better have the answer, girl. We gonna find out.
I'm joking.
Okay. Okay, she's choking, so she
And I
better.
had to mute her.
She better have an answer for this.
I already know what your question is.
Okay,
Obviously, you know what
guys.
that means.
Everyone, even in the chat box, you guys can chime in. The question is for everyone.
I'm scared. I'm so
Everybody's
scared.
gonna say what I feel.
No, you can elaborate, okay?
So-
Guys, ladies, I mean, not,
Yeah, I was
and
gonna be like,
guys, guys or ladies, anybody, does size matter?
Jackie is running around
matter
the
like
studio.
matter more than something, or matter the most, or everything matters.
Jackie is running around the studio, flickering her sweater at all of us. Hey, I get into the mode.
Okay.
How you go from that to him?
And I mean, is it
Does size
is
matter?
it a deal breaker for you?
Okay.
Okay, so are you gonna go
That's
first,
a better
or are you
question.
gonna go
That's
last?
a better question. Is
Yeah.
size a deal breaker?
Is size a deal breaker for you?
Okay. Does size matter, and is size a deal breaker?
Oh, don't.
No, wait. We're gonna answer it.
Because I already know she'd come right back.
It's okay. We're gonna start off with Kosi. We're starting off with you, actually. So talk about it. That's a question of the night.
So the size matter isn't a deal breaker for me. I just want to say that. Fuck. No, I've been with big men and I've been with small men, and I will admit it depends on how they use it. I've been with larger men who just they're like a fucking jackhammer. That's not sexy to me. That's a deal breaker for me. So I'm not gonna say that size is a deal breaker. I'm gonna say if you don't know how to use what you got, that's a deal breaker for me.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. So if he's got a little dick, if he's got like my pinky right here, and he can like just move it around and shake it around, you'll be good.
Wait, but she didn't give diameters. Like
No,
you going
but I
really
did.
Crazy
I
with
said
it.
pinky. Look at my pinky.
Well, that was my situation with the trainer.
Well, don't
Girl.
people. Oh, don't put people's business out there. Don't say no names. Don't say their job.
Herman, she's calling you out, Herman.
Who's Herman?
And
Her
look,
trainer.
I hope you guys don't know what gym.
He knew how to make sure that I was satisfied, so that I didn't like pay attention to that. So,
in my question, I know what you would ask, what you would answer, with the or the.
Look at Marty. Marty's like,
No, what the fuck?
What y'all talking about?
What are you talking about?
She went for oral sex. Is
So
what I'm saying.
Kosi said she doesn't care about the size as long as he knows how to use it. That's Kosi's answer.
and he pleases me.
Okay.
Oh, she's looking at me.
Damn, you asking for too
You
much.
guys should have seen her face.
How is that asking for too much?
Guys, her face.
Girl, I'm
being
gonna
too
sit you down,
picky.
right? She looked like
I'm already
a girl.
She looked like an innocent little bit. As long as he
No,
pleases.
damn well she don't. When her age is like abroad from
And-
15 to
And
45.
she put her head down and batted her
She said
eyelashes.
15. What the fuck? Don't do her like that. It's at least 17.
Maria,
I don't.
Your turn.
That ain't love. You might love what you doing though.
Can you repeat the question? Can I get a lifeline?
can I get a lifeline? Can I get him?
All right, repeat the question.
Okay, the question is, does size matter?
And then you had a follow up.
The follow-up was,
It's a deal breaker.
Oh, Myra, she didn't mean that.
she was talking to you.
Obviously, she got to answer that question. So she like,
Does
shut the
size
fuck
matter?
up.
And is it a deal breaker?
And it can go either way.
Now you can't play 26 after that. Lord, you done already sold your soul to the devil.
Let's do this. Come on, Maria. We want to know.
Hey.
We waiting on you.
I don't know. It all depends. It depends on what type of
Ah,
history I have with the person. Don't go I with me.
God,
First
boring,
of all,
boring.
it's all about love because eventually you're gonna grow old and your shit's gonna be shriveled up and hanging and loose lips and shit. You're gonna have to hold it open while the guy put it.
Okay, first of all,
If you gotta hold
Good
it
night.
open, I don't know what.
Don't act. Oh my God, you guys are not at that stage.
Okay,
I'm saying,
we wanna
like,
know,
I'm talking
does
about
size
granny
matter?
legs.
What open?
No, I
And
don't
is
have
it
to
a
hold
deal
nothing
breaker?
open. I'm talking about granny
Your
legs.
leg-
we
you
don't
gotta
care
hold your
about
legs
loose
open.
lips.
Once
I'm
will
talking
be
about
there, so
size.
you gotta understand. At one point, the size won't matter. However,
So it does matter.
it does not matter at one point. It just it happens.
It matters at other points.
Okay,
Right.
what?
My
I mean,
turn.
it depends at what age you're asking it.
Right, whatever.
We're asking now at this very moment.
At this very moment.
It matters.
Thank you.
Okay.
That's it. I'm fucking lying. Fucking bullshit. The fuck?
But is it a deal?
Fuck you, Jackie. Fuck you. You about to make me break this fucking shit.
the fuck up.
I'm about to whoop her ass.
So for what I'm
You are
saying,
not gonna put that shit behind me.
I'm looking at her face like I'm a. She's like I'm a.
You already
fuck your
know.
ass.
That noise, that like.
Hey,
Get
you
money.
fat.
I love the song choice.
Me too.
Hey,
I'll be in the car like,
Experimenting tonight.
fuck you too when that click.
hey.
Oh, Chris is there. Hi, Chris. Chris is laughing at us. This is us trying to wrap up the show, and we're fucking
Hey,
We're trying to figure this
cochinas.
out.
I should have
Chris,
asked a
am I
different
lying?
question.
Am I lying, Chris? Eventually, size does not fucking matter. I mean, the woman shrivels
you're
up
just
and the
saying-
man shrivels up and shit get cold.
Shut the fuck up, Maria. Shut up. Size matters. Get in there.
Fuck you.
Get all the way in there.
Yeah, even if you shriveled, you better make it shrivel
Put
up and
extra
go.
fingers. You better put your other hand in there. You better make
Yeah.
it happen.
You better fist
Y'all
it
gonna
up
have
and go.
reality hitting you guys in 5 years. You got,
But
you're
I'm gonna get a
fucking
young
close.
one. I'm gonna get a young one.
No.
Hey,
Hey, those
You
blue
a young
pills.
one.
Those blue
Prove
pills.
yourself.
You know what? Not don't do me like that. Not no 5 years.
What the hell?
She said 5 years.
No, she ain't talking about what you said.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, I'm like,
fucking
oh shit,
spitting
you
and
gonna be on the blue pill for 5 years.
No, her. She said you guys are gonna see what I'm talking about in 5 years. Girl,
what the
don't
fuck?
do no, don't put that
Don't
on
cast
me.
that spell on me.
Maybe not you, Mari, because you're the youngest one from all.
I got 6 years.
Not if I get myself a young one. Hello. Thank you.
True.
You be energized.
Marty's so faded right now. She's she's leaned back with the freaking Asian eyes over here. She's done.
Right.
She's talking about they be energized.
Sometimes they just gotta do all the work. Sometimes you just don't want to,
Oh hell no.
No, wait. Let Myra answer it. Myra's turn.
Don't lie, you be tired.
The answer is
no.
size does matter.
Okay.
Is it a deal breaker?
Is it a deal breaker?
It can be, yes, if it's
What if they have a great
doesn't meet a
personality?
certain size.
I can see that with Myra, because Myra earlier said she could be by herself. It doesn't matter, so I can see that.
Yeah,
like,
I
you
don't-
ain't got it, boo. Oh hell no.
No, but it's
Show
not
'em the
honestly.
door.
No, I mean I don't,
And she
and
be
it's
talking
not
about what you know about me.
because it's not about it's not about size. There's, I mean, it could be something that's too big or something that, but if it's just like too small. So I mean,
How many too bigs have you had? I've had too many bigs. Like
I don't-
I've had two.
I don't know.
Where you're like, no.
Hell
had-
no,
it's
Myra.
too
You cannot
big,
start some
yo.
shit
I
and
have
then
not
say, I
had
don't
too
know.
Too
many
big.
to talk about.
Too big. Too big.
I'm not
She
asking for
thinking,
your
she
number.
thinking, leave
Just,
her alone.
you just counting.
I just don't want anybody in the comments to say
No,
anything
it's
stupid.
fine. Look, stop it.
No, I mean, I can't say I've had too many. Period. To say like, oh, I've had too
Big
many.
dicks for 200.
I'll take big.
I would
big
say-
dick.
I
Big
would
dick for
say-
500.
I would
I
say
feel good,
I've
sometimes I
been
don't.
fortunate
Like,
enough, but oh, girl, you nasty.
I love it. I love you,
No,
nasty bitch.
but what I'm saying is like, okay, there could be something
me a
that's just way
number.
too small. You
Oh
can't.
my god.
You can't
How
even
many
like
big old
enjoy.
peppers have you had? One or two? Keep it in the low digits.
Why? Keep it
No,
high.
hell no.
Girl, get
Keep
your
that
dick.
shit high. Let it known.
You go to church on Sunday and beg for forgiveness for your life.
Yeah, sometimes my nephew listens to this show.
Oh,
It's
okay.
bad.
Well, you saw my niece in the comments earlier. I just said, don't tell your mom.
She's recording. She's screen
Right.
recording.
The other
this
day,
whole show.
my nephew sent me a text about something inappropriate that you said. And he's
Oh,
like, "Oh, that's what
shit.
y'all do, huh?
Ah,
Ladies'
shit.
night, huh?"
We
I'm
talk
like,
about everything.
shut up.
Yes.
We talk about everything.
I'm like, why
when
are
he
you-
gets older, he'll know.
Yeah,
it's
he's
fine.
But anyway, size does matter. Is it a deal breaker? Potentially, it can be. Yes.
Ooh, okay, Myra. Myra said it, girl. You better. That's
Why
right.
bullshit?
Okay,
Why
yeah.
why be nice and beat around the bush? If you like something, you like it. If you don't like it, you don't. You don't have to do it again.
Yeah, but I'm saying eventually. Let's just say in 10 years.
In 10 years, the
Talk
size
to
is
me
gonna
then.
stay the
Wait,
same.
why are you
So
asking
you
in
gonna be
10 years?
cougering
Why?
like
Wait,
that.
why are you asking in 10 years? What does that have to do with it?
Because you have to think about the long term. Is it going to matter, like, long term wise? Or
If
or
they
you
can't
just
get
talking
it
about
hard,
now?
that's a whole different thing.
No, not if you're just hooking up. No, you don't.
Oh, that's a different thing.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I think you're talking about if you're in a committed relationship with
What
someone
if you
for a
marry?
very long
What?
time.
Okay,
But see, that's what I thought you were talking
Maria's
about.
talking about marriage. What if you marry this person?
Then, girl, you better have a discussion. Are you gonna want that for the rest of your life forever?
Exactly.
Yes. And if you're good with that, girl, get it.
Okay, there she
And
goes.
if you're not, then you might have to have a conversation.
But see, that's the thing.
What?
What you don't understand is that we all go in that direction.
We
so
do.
when you get to 40 or 50, and for my 40-year-old man, I'm sure we probably don't have any in the comment box, but when you get to 40 or 50, that is going to be a discussion that you have.
What's
So what's going to happen
wait?
then?
What's the discussion that
Look.
he can't get it hard?
Yes,
No.
and it shrinks. Like
Are
it's
you
not.
kidding?
No, I'm
There's
not
so-
kidding.
have-
I'm
But
being
that doesn't
very
have to do with
honest.
size.
No,
that doesn't
it
have to do with
doesn't
size. That has
We're
to do
talking
with
about
ability.
size,
Look,
Maria.
It
We're talking about
does.
Maria-
I'm telling you, it depends on
Maria,
how the man lives.
You're not 50 yet.
No,
There's
I
so
know,
many
but
40 and
but see,
50
that's
year old
the
men
thing,
out
like,
here with young women. You think that these young women are with them because their dick is shriveled up?
Well, it depends. There was some of them
I
are
don't
with
even
them
think.
for money.
I don't think men's dick shriveled up until they're probably 70
Oh
or
no,
something.
girl. They
I will
start
say this
early.
though.
They start early.
I will say this though. When I was in my early, well, okay, I will just say this. Maybe about 5 years ago, I don't want to say my age. That's why I was dating somebody who's 10 years older than me, and they were having a hard time keeping it hard.
You know,
So I get what
That's what I'm
Maria.
saying.
That's true.
I get what
Like-
Maria
like,
is saying.
I
that
get-
You
okay.
can't be single forever.
You're
so
right.
what I'm asking you is your question just now, or your question is in a relationship in general? Because in general, men aren't always going to be the same size. as they get older, not only do they shrink, but depending on how they lived is on how long they can last, or if they can even get it up at all in general.
That's a good point.
So would you kick him to the curb?
Now the question is, do you want to be with somebody that doesn't take care of themselves and eventually won't be,
baby? But we all go in that direction.
So we're all going in that direction.
I will say that because I could see
and the women has a higher sex drive.
Yes,
when
they
get older,
at that age,
and men come down. So then, what are you gonna do then? Are you gonna be like, fuck, like shit? You
we might talk about having an open relationship. What do you talk about that?
Okay, I heard you, Jackie.
You have to find solutions. For
no, I'm just kidding. Like,
there's a problem.
If you really love them and care for them, you're gonna try to make it work.
So then you would stay. And it wouldn't matter.
Yeah, no, that's different.
That's interesting. That's
the thing. Like when I answered my question, I thought I was thinking long term.
Well, yeah.
So when you guys answered, I was like, damn, like these girls are like,
don't let us influence.
Oh, your shit ain't getting hard. Like drop.
So when you met your husband, were you thinking about that? Were you thinking about long term?
I was thinking about long term, not in that area, but long term, like in a relationship, and like
so sex wasn't important to you when you were in a relationship. See, to me, sex would be important. So to me, sex would be important,
and it wasn't important because we were young. We weren't thinking about that. Like our thoughts were somewhere else.
That's why I didn't get married at 19. That's why I didn't get booed up at the age of 19, 18. I mean, this is why I'm waiting. I didn't want to. I also waited because I didn't want to be a stereotype, but at the same time, that's why I waited. You know what I'm saying?
Too late.
Madi, what about you, girl? Let's jump over to you because you've been quiet over there.
Yeah, let's hear it. How many big dicks have you? How many too big?
Does size matter to Madi?
And how many too big ones have you had?
Well, I know for a fact I have students that listen, so I'm going to keep my answer very
damn it to hell.
You know,
damn it, children,
on the low. And I know I wish, sorry guys, I wish we could block you.
Just FYI, Madi didn't promote it.
Yeah, they
you know,
found
kids are very smart and they know how to use social media. So somehow they found her social media and they connected it to the ladies' night. So now she
even though I blocked them, like some of them follow Jackie.
Yeah, but I blocked them when you tell me.
Shout out to the kids for supporting.
Yeah, and I appreciate it. They're not snitches.
Don't tell on your teacher,
They wouldn't
that's wrong. Don't tell on your teacher.
Yeah.
Look, this is our passion. We like to have a good time.
We're family.
So if you want to skip this, you can skip it.
No, girl, I still want to talk.
Okay.
I still got some things to say. I want to say that size does matter, but that doesn't necessarily mean that like I need like the biggest pickle. Like it's not that the size that I'm thinking of is like, oh my god, huge.
Right.
It's more that to me, is it a deal breaker? I want to say it's a deal breaker if you're already a deal breaker, if that makes sense. Like if your personality is already a deal breaker, it don't matter whether I like it or not. Because I've definitely had, I would say, perfection and still not been down for the get down because of who you are.
Right.
I'm like, nah, you just turn me off, man. It don't even matter at that point, the size.
Yeah.
So I want to say size probably doesn't matter, and it's probably not a deal breaker.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a good answer. I feel it. So I guess we're jumping over to me. Yeah. I will say wait. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to go in the comments real quick because Chris is there. Hi, Chris.
Yeah.
Shout out to Chris. He is a Good News family member over here. He is on the Get Right radio show every Sunday from 10 to 12. They have a funny show. They're one of my favorites. So shout out to Chris. It's Chris, Kelvin, and Eric, but Chris is in the chat box, and he has some things to say. He says that why is sex important? I guess he was asking me because I said that's a deal, like sex is. So, okay, Chris, for me, I'm not saying for all women. I don't know about Madi, Myra, Marie, or Kosi, but to me, I do feel because of the way that, I don't know, I'm trying to think of how to express it without sounding all crazy. I really do enjoy sex. Like sex is really something that allows you to connect with your partner and to get to like a different level. It's not a priority, but it is important to me. So if we don't have a good connection in sex, then it's going to be a deal breaker for my relationship. Yeah. Because of the energy and fun and like good times and the connection that I have with sex. With my partner, I expect the same. Like I feel like I give a good time, and I feel like I want to receive a good time, and I want to feel a connection. I want to feel the love and passion. And if you and I are not on the same level when it comes to sex, then it's not going to work out in different levels of our relationship. So, because sex does connect, all of it connects, and that's just my opinion. I'm not saying that's every woman. I'm not saying that's every female out here, but that's just me personally of why sex is important to me. I just feel it connects with different levels of your relationship with their person, just in all types of categories, not just sex. It's like one level of it. So that's my answer to your question, Chris. But to me, as far as the question that Myra had is, does size matter? I'm going to say this. I've had 2 partners that have been extremely huge, extremely big, extremely thick. And
You said no or what?
It's
Did
so
you
funny.
run away?
I was a little intimidated by one of them because this person was 6'4", and their size down there matched their size in height almost. And like it
What the hell are
literally
you talking about, Jack?
it was
a 6-footer.
so you guys see my arm, right?
Oh,
So
Lord.
I want to go from
Am I muted?
my fingertips to like my almost, I don't want to say my full forearm, but like it was there almost.
Guys,
like
where is the live?
it was huge. And so I was like, yo, I've never done anything that huge, and it was a little intimidating. But I will say that they were aware of their size, so they knew what to do with it, and they knew how to, like, just to go with the flow and put it in and how to work it. And so it did kind of help. But man, like,
Was it even enjoyable though, or you were like, oh,
there
it's
was
out?
moments that were enjoyable. There was
Internal
moments that I was like, fucking like, yo, pull back. So I
Do you have a
guess
safe word.
Pineapples
Really
is the
though.
safe word. No, but seriously, like, so then the other one that was that experience wasn't that long, but it was thicker. Like, it was thick.
Oh, whoa.
Like the
Where
girth.
you find this man from?
What's their number?
You know what? I'm not gonna share that information, but
You
So-
can't have
Damn, you fucking greedy.
I know. And so I will say this. The size doesn't matter because huge is like, whoa, too much. And then I've also had like regular. It's literally kind of, I forgot who said it, but it's how, I think it was Kosi, it's how you work it, how you move it. And if he is knowing the rhythm, if he figures out what you like, what makes you excited, what makes you come, or whatever, like, if he takes the time to understand your body and what turns you on and all that, then that's different. And that's the type of connection that I want to have with my partner, is like that we tell each other that we're okay with. Like, I'm not going to get offended if he's like, you know what, I prefer when you do this. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do that. Don't get offended. Like, well, I was doing my best. Like, no, don't do that. Like, if we're going to be partners, if we're going to have this type of relationship, then you are going to listen. And if you really love me and you're going to want to please me, then listen to what I'm telling you.
Playing games in the
Exactly.
bedroom.
At the end of the day, it's like,
figure it
if you
out.
want to please me, if you really do care about me and love me, you're going to listen to the advice. And I literally had like a sex therapy with one of my partners, and we literally sat down and said, I love when you do this, but I would want you to try doing this.
Word.
Vice versa.
Wow.
Yeah.
And literally after we sat down and
works.
we were
Sonny, what you talking about? Wow, that's
we were
so
literally
fucking
having
wow.
lunch and talking about this.
Nice.
After we ate lunch,
That's
we went
dope.
we went to
And got it
and,
on.
and used our nose. Oh my god.
Not used our nose. Like, hold up, baby. Hold up.
Yeah.
Let
But
me,
you know,
let me open the book.
No.
read this
Like,
flashcard.
You know, and a deal breaker can be, like, for example, it could be too big where you're not enjoying it and it hurts, and you're like, you know what, I can't do this again. You're
Right.
cool, but I can't do this. Or it could be something that you just totally didn't enjoy, and you're like, you know what, that's a deal breaker for me. I can't do it.
Right.
But I guess the question really is, okay, what if their personality is awesome and you love them, you love who they are, you love what they do for you, but they just don't please you sexually? Is that a deal
So
breaker?
really quick,
Yeah.
wait.
That's exactly what
Before you answer that,
But that's a wild
Chris has a
thing.
similar question.
Yes.
He said, "So
I
if
was
the
just gonna
homie
read
is
that.
trash, are you willing to teach him what you like?" That's a question for everybody.
Some people are not
Not
willing
stay
to learn,
quiet.
though. You can
But see-
teach,
wait, hold on.
and some are not willing to learn.
I think there's a certain level of teaching we can do,
Yes.
and then if it just doesn't meet. I mean, I think if you're in a relationship with someone and it's a long-term relationship and you've been with them, you know what the sex is like, and you've been having sex with them, you can, and you enjoy, you can continue to work with them. You can talk to each other and try to figure each other out because you're in a relationship. And you got to try to figure it out. Otherwise, if it's just not good, you're going to have to, if you don't want to cheat or you don't want to have an open relationship, you're going to have to figure something out.
Yeah. And, I'm bad with names, but who were our, I want to say most
A and B
guests?
A and B.
The brothers.
The A and B.
Okay. And I remember them because one of them got muted within like a certain time frame, just like me. But it was the other one that said that he was dating an older woman. And the older woman walked him through
what she liked.
No, not what she liked. When he was ready to, I don't know, come or whatever. Yeah. And she was like,
to hold.
She
back.
helped him hold back and just like a baby, like rock him. Like,
that's talent.
Mm-hmm. No, not talent.
But that's something that you can.
It takes a lot of discipline.
It takes discipline, but it also takes learning
on the man
each
point
other.
of view. Yes, but that's what we're talking about with walking each other through what we like, what we don't like, and then you can also feel your partner when he is
you can feel it
coming.
Oh yeah,
and you can go on ahead and not
stop.
Make him. You can go on ahead and slow down and
stop.
Make him stop. Whether you just as a woman at this age,
especially
like,
if you know what you're.
But when you don't, right? Because there's going to be a point in your life where you don't know. Like, you had to learn those signs.
But at this age, I'm saying, at this age, we have this topic up open, so we know.
Especially if you've been with someone that you understand. You know what's going to trigger it. You know when, you know how. You know what I mean?
Of course, of course.
If it's a one-night stand or something, and you're like, oh, shit, I have no idea when this is, you may or may not.
So, Kosi.
I know what I'm saying, but that's a scenario.
We're going to go to Kosi. Kosi, what do you think?
So I am definitely willing to teach if if the personality is there and I enjoy being around that person. Yeah, like I want to bond with them. I want to learn about him and his desires, what he wants from me, and then vice versa, like him learning about what pleases me. So I'm definitely willing to teach and be taught. I will say that, but I will say that some people take advantage of that. Not everybody is out there is willing to teach or be taught, because I was in a situation where I was seeing someone and he just texted me out of the blue. He was like, hey, like, okay, so we hooked up. So when I come over, I don't want us to have a conversation. I want to go straight to your room and we could do the D. Like, that's not how I get up. Like, you gotta talk to me. You gotta get in my head. That's how I get up. Like, get in my mind, get me situated, make me feel good. But so that's what I'm saying. Like, not everybody is about that. So I'm definitely willing to like be.
What if somebody's like
and be taught? But like, not everybody is willing to do that. And I think we need to understand that.
But you also have to understand how to separate those two, because when somebody is telling you that, that's separate from like what we're talking about with like also relationship. Like, you already know that they just there for the D.
No, because it's about what you make it to be.
No, you could also have like a booty call or friends with benefits, but still be able to communicate that. Like, yeah, okay, if this is just sex, that's fine. But you have to understand, if this is just going to be that, then
I need this to happen.
Then I need this to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, no, I understand what Kosi is saying. Like, if this is just sex, if this is just a booty call, if this is just friends with benefits, fine.
What if somebody's like...
We've established that, but at least let's establish the fact that you're not just going to come in here and say, I just want to come in here and get head and I'm out. Bitch, what the fuck? No.
Yeah, I never saw that guy again. Never saw that guy again.
So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Chris, just to answer your final question. So if the homie is trash, are you willing to teach him what you like? The answer is yes. I'm going to give the homie a chance and let him know what I like. If he cannot do that, to me, like, oral is a big thing. If you want me to go down, then I expect the same thing. You want me to go down, I expect you to go down. If you're not about that life, bye, homie. It's not gonna work. Like, that's just me. If you don't like to go down on women, then this is not gonna work. There are some women out there that I will say never experience it, so they don't know they like it, or they don't know that what they're missing. So they'll say, I don't care, I don't want it. That's fine, that's up to them. But to me, I've had it, I've enjoyed it, I've had amazing it, and I want of that. So if you want it, I want it. That's just me. And I'm just gonna say this: if he's willing to take notes and learn and want to learn what turns me on, then I'm willing to share that information.
Yes.
And I'm willing to work with that. It's not a deal breaker.
They might be okay with not having it because maybe they've never had it.
They've never had it,
or the right right way. Maybe
No,
they're like, okay, I can go without it because whatever, it's whatever.
You'd
But
be
you
surprised how
probably
many
haven't.
women have never had oral, never had a guy go down on them. Because I've had a lot of conversations with women, and there's some women out there that have never had men go down on them, and they don't know what they're missing, so they're okay with that. And I'm like, well, I've had amazing, so I'm okay. Like, if you're not about that life, thank you, you're cute, but bye.
And even there's,
I
like
feel
I said,
like-
there's probably women that have had it and maybe feel like they don't care if they have it or not.
Like
They
feel
probably
like-
just haven't had it
Like,
the right way.
right way, exactly. I feel you, Myra.
I feel like it goes back to like us being women. We're taught to be a certain way. We're taught to express ourselves a certain way, to appear a certain way, and oral sex is not that. So you have women who do not experience oral sex because it's disgusting. So you have inhibited women
because they've never
who will
experienced
not
it.
go for it.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna put that out there.
Yeah. So, I mean, with that said, you know, like I said, today's Friday night was just with the ladies having our girl talk and talking about Game of Thrones and whatever the hell we want to talk about.
Yes.
Before we
thank
sign
you.
out, I'm going to go around the circle and you guys can share either whatever you want to share, your thoughts, your ideas, or just promote anything, whatever you want to do. Starting off with Madi over here. Madi on the mic. What's up, girl? Check them out.
All right, y'all. Thank you for being here. It was a pleasure. I love coming and talking to y'all. I think
coming too.
I love, getting mine.
She sounds like she wants coming.
Going. Love bug.
I think what I'm going to take away from this is just to continue really to search for something that like makes you happy or brings you joy, whether it be a show or a person or sex. Right, we got to just make that normalized. I think just continue to do you and be a good person and get yours, whatever that may be.
Yes. All right, Myra.
Madi-
What's going
Madi
on
out.
over there?
I don't really have too much to say. I hope you guys enjoyed our, just winging it today.
Yeah, it was a girls' night. It was a
we
ladies'
kinda-
night. We want to talk about whatever we,
We
want
kind
to
of
talk about.
freelanced it. We almost wore pajamas, but I don't know.
But nobody has fucking pajamas.
You don't want to see me in
Yeah,
my pajamas.
I don't
Well,
wanna
you
pay for
probably
those.
do, but we ain't gonna do all that.
Yeah.
No, y'all gonna get some pajamas. We're gonna have a pajama night one of these
we'll
nights.
have
pajama night one night.
Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. We really did kind of just wing it today, and we tried our best. But I think it was really interesting, and hopefully everyone had a good time. Thank you for chiming in. Hey.
Maria, it's your turn.
I just want to say thank you, God, for allowing me to have all my girls under one roof. It's actually been about 3
Amen.
weeks. And just to have Alexis here has been so helpful. So thank you. I've had a lot. And actually, I was going to comment on one of Jackie's posts with the Starbucks guy. And I've had a lot of stuff weighing on my heart. I actually broke down on my way to work. I listen to a lot of gospel music, and I just want to say, and it was a topic that we talked about earlier. You never know what one nice thing that you tell somebody else can make in their life.
Yep.
And on my way to work, when I tell you I was boohooing, I hate to cry in my car because I feel like the person next to me can watch me, and I'm an ugly crier.
I hate that too.
I'm not really a big fan of Kim Kardashian, other than what she's doing for the people that are in jail. But with her ugly cry, that's totally me. Like, I am an ugly crier. So when I cry, like, I literally try to hide in my car, and it really took a lot out of me yesterday to go to work. And I spent most of my time in my office with my door closed, just doing my job and just pretty much listening to gospel music and just asking for guidance. But then when I saw Jackie's video, I just felt like it was a sign from God to tell me that even though I didn't find $20, even though I didn't see 555 on my network or whatever, or in my life, I know that everything's going to be all right, and everything's going to work out.
It is. God is good.
So I just want to let you guys know. I'm going to get emotional.
Go, girl.
Let
Let it out.
Lord,
Let it out.
These are our listeners, and they love
You
us.
know, God is good.
God is good every
He
time,
is.
every day, all the time.
Won't he do it?
true
Won't he do it?
statement.
And yep, it's all in his hands.
Yep.
It doesn't matter what you're going through, but you will come out through it.
All the time.
You will come out of it. And I know that whatever I'm going through right now, hands down, it's all in God.
It's
That's
all in
right.
his hands. You just put all of it in his
He's
hands.
just trying to teach me something and guide me through what I've been praying for.
Yep. Exactly.
And I wrote all that yesterday in Jackie's little thing. And I said, oh, this is corny. Let me erase it because I'm not a corny person.
You should have shared it.
Corny
It's
about having
nothing.
faith.
Exactly.
There's nothing wrong with being corny.
Exactly. The world needs more corniness in here for real.
Yeah.
No.
I agree with that. Seriously.
So just to let you guys know that we are going through something, but
Yep.
just know that God's gonna pull us out and prayer works. And you know, I'm really a spiritual person. So if you're not a spiritual person, no disrespect, but it's gonna be all right. So
Yep. And like my friend
that's
from
where I'm at in life.
like my friend from Starbucks, Michael said, things happen for us, not to us.
Right.
So what you're going
And
through,
that's the impact that really stood out to me. When
Yep.
I saw that, I was like, that is so true.
it is.
Because I never blame. And
No.
when I was crying, I'm telling you, I was not crying asking. I was crying thanking because I know that it could be much worse.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know I could be in a much worse place.
Exactly.
So my problems are not really bad.
Mm-hmm.
They're bad to me, but I'm just thankful that he still has me here.
Exactly. And I will say this, just count your blessings and you're going to be a lot happier. You're fine. Like, think about all the things that you're blessed with.
Steadfastness.
Yeah.
That's it.
Exactly. So, I mean, like I said, if you're going through something like, you know, everybody, this is life. You guys are going to have your ups and your downs. And if you're going through one of your downs right now, it's okay. You're going to get through it. It's going to be all good. Kosi, wrap us up over here.
I don't know how I'm gonna follow that, but I will say that
Amen.
being at Starbucks with Jackie and having this guy Michael, you know, just remind us that things happen for us and not to us was definitely inspiring. The fact that I just found this freaking $20 bill landed on my desk, like it's been a very interesting week, a week of reflection, a week of understanding, you know, what's happening to us. And with that being said, based on what we talked about tonight, if you haven't seen Game of Thrones or Theta, I would suggest that you turn it on, you know, pick a show, turn it on, watch it. And if you are one of those inhibited women that we have discussed, turn one of those shows on and sit on his face. Good night.
Oh!
Yes. Do not
Where are
bring
you
King
with Jackie?
Jesus.
You a little late.
You better
Damn.
not bring King Jesus into that.
Hey, please don't.
She said, wrap it up. I wrapped it up.
Wrap it up.
Oh, shit. Hold up. All right, Kosi. That's my producer, Kosi. She don't get on the mic all the time, but when she does, she be dropping these gems. Hey,
Yes.
Kosi, I appreciate you. Hey, Kosi, speak how it is, okay? That's all I'm gonna say. But I really do want to appreciate all of you guys for being here. I just wanted to, literally this show, I was like, we're going to do whatever the hell we want to do today. We have no guests. It's ladies' night. And we're going to talk about whatever we want to talk about. We went from Decisive Matter to like real shit and to Game of Thrones. So I'm excited to be here with all y'all. Chris is in the comments. He says, I'm coming for the jammy jam. Hey, Chris, if you come, don't even trip. Like, you better have your pajamas, though.
I was going to say,
What?
better not have nothing.
What? He better have something on. That
The
he can get pulled over and go to jail if he don't have nothing on.
Public indecency.
We're going to put a sign at the door.
You know what? We should
Shirts
have
and shoes.
you know what, Chris?
required.
You inspired something. I was literally just trying to have like a pajama night with my girls, but I might have a pajama party up in the studio, and we'll have more like deep conversations like this.
Just
It's
make sure
gonna
we
be-
have the air conditioner on.
Oh yeah, I know, right?
Girl.
Damn, it's gonna be
it
real
gets
hot.
hot in here when
I
you
tried.
drinking whiskey over there. But shout out to everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening to us and hanging out with your girls here. The ladies' night. It's every Friday at 7:30. You know, we don't get paid for this. We just enjoy this. This is part of like our therapy. It's part of our fun. It's something that we look forward to every week. And you know, it started off with me and Madi and my producer Kosi. But like we've literally established a ladies' night vibe in here. Thank to Amira and Maria who have joined us in the show. It's literally become that vibe. And if you're a woman and you don't have a group of women that can hold you accountable or just that you want to share good news to, like, consider us your group of girls. Like, that's why I created this. Like, women need to have more women in their life that support them and love them and show that kindness, and that's who we are for you guys. So, you know, shout out to y'all. Thank you for tuning in. You can be spending your Friday night with anybody, but you're spending it here with us. I'm your host, Mysterious Jack. This is Ladies Night Radio Show. And just remember one thing, ladies.
You are enough. Thank you so much for listening in. We love you guys.
I'm going to end with the thong song.
Hey, Cozy taking off her clothes over here. Cozy, put it on. Put it on.
I've been listening to it. Thank you for spending your Friday night with us. I appreciate you. Shout out to from LA, from the Good News Radio. Shout out to everybody. Thank you. Everybody say hi to my sister Anna. She's on my FaceTime.
Yes, we love you, Bonanza.
What is she?